my
And
goal.
could that have been? I mean, honestly, could that not have been the worst? Can it just?
Can he just
It's
let it happen?
yeah. I mean, do we need? Does it need to do? And it sounds so fucking artificial. I mean, for God's sakes. Anyway,
Man, man. But yeah, so I eventually when like so I how I was running the theater company is I had two business partners. One was doing more of like the finding people part of the business situation. The other one was like more the business guy, and he like owned the building and all that stuff. That dude got cancer,
oh my
unfortunately.
God,
Yeah, dude, and it just kind of it was one of those things where I
how old
think
was
it
he?
was he's like 30 or no, he's like 40 now, like
Okay,
45 maybe at most.
so he's still alive.
Yeah, he's still good.
Great,
He did beat it.
great,
He's chilling now.
great.
But it was a long bad fight, and you know he had to like give up on the our aspect of the business in order to do it, and which is you know like I'm so happy that he's healthy, and I think it ultimately it was like a bummer, like a huge bummer at the time both ways, but eventually I was like okay, well I think it's almost the universe like calling me down
Thousand
to
percent.
Nashville, you know, like there. I remember we had a conversation while I was working at Ninja Sushi, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Dude, what the fuck? Get out of here! Like, go, get gone." And I was like, and I was already kind of like I was already pretty much going that way, but it like put a fire under my ass. I was like, I need to go. I need to
Yeah.
fucking go.
And
This
you
is
know,
dumb.
you got your family out there, and that's such a huge advantage when you're moving to, you know, when fate is moving you in locations, when you have your family. Like for instance, my grandfather, when he joined the Naval Academy,
Hmm.
his father, you know, my that's the Italians. His father and mother, my great grandparents, they said, "All right, we're going with you," because he was stationed in, you know, California, and they were from New Jersey. So, you know,
Hmm.
when you have a your tribe, when you got your people, and it's a and you're all starting a new life, it's a lot better. So I when I heard that, you know, Lucas and Noah, da, 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 I was like, man, you got to go with your peeps. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to.
Mhm.
And so I'm happy. Happy to hear that you are out there. And I don't know what the culture is when it comes to you know, acting and doing plays and that type of stuff out there. But I know it's probably better than out in the Midwest.
Hmm. It's like a fucking how do I even put this? It's like Kansas when people first came down here. It's like untouched fertile ground, you
Mhm.
know, because a lot of people have moved down here from California. Like this has become their new home. And
Nashville,
so
right?
there's yeah. You said what? Yeah, yeah,
Nashville.
yeah. So a lot of people have rid down here from there, and there's a lot of like professional type of actors down here, and there's not like I mean, there is definitely good professional theater down here, but
Right.
there's not like a defining kind of like scene, you know.
Yeah.
And but there's a lot of talent down here, and there's an interest. You know, there's a lot of people as I've been going through, and you know, I started working on this thing I'm working on now, like about 5 months ago. And just as I've been working on it, I've been telling you know people, my patrons at the restaurant I work at, Perry's. I've been telling people that I just meet everywhere. I've been like just kind of on the salesman tour for this thing, and
Hmm.
people are like, "Dude, there is none of that really going on around
Exactly.
here. Please do this. Like, keep us updated. You know,
Yeah.
take our number. Here's this. You know, let us know how this is going." So it's like I said, it's like people hadn't really been thinking about this place
Mhm.
as the as an acting place, you know, because it's such a like a music based place. But you know, whenever a bunch of creative people all get to the same place, it does create that fertility for
Well,
really.
also when you have leadership, okay,
Yeah,
and when you have a figurehead, things can change
yeah.
no matter what. Um, and what's so interesting, and you know, with in regards to Shakespeare, you had brought up, um, and we started talking, and then you shared these interpretations of some of Shakespeare's work. You gave me a script, and I started reading it, And I was just thinking to myself, I said, and as I learn about Shakespeare, Shakespeare was a figurehead. There was nothing before him.
Mm.
There's never been something after him. And it's hard for people to understand, you know, uh, people who say they like movies. Well, where did that even come from? Where did storytelling come from? Where
Right,
did where did it come from? And it
man.
would and you're an expert on fucking Shakespeare and play. Like for instance, I love movies. I love storytelling. I love communicating with people. I love someone who can tell a good story. I love that.
Right.
I love sitting around talking. I just love it.
Me too,
And
brother.
and would you say would you say that um what was before Shakespeare in your craft? You're an actor, you come from your family's actors. What was before that? What was who was the Shakespeare?
So that would be, I mean, so there was a long, like couple thousand year phase where theater was really, or any kind of like big time storytelling was really, what's the word, stamped on, you almost have to go. I mean, there are people throughout, like, from what I'm about to say till Shakespeare, but to find a real true master storyteller, you have to go all the way back to
Oh, he
Homer.
was like a rock star.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, after him, there's Dickens. After him, there's
Okay.
Joyce. After him, there's Hemingway, Faulkner. Modern day, we have like people like Dylan. We
But
have
are they on the level?
I don't know if anybody has ever
Okay,
risen
so
to the
that's
level of Shakespeare.
okay. So and I'm not, you know, the idea I'm trying to get across is that what can we, as artists, what can we take from the figure of Shakespeare? What truly was the energy that every artist, no matter their field, what can we look at Shakespeare? Because imagine you're Shakespeare and you're a creative, and you have all these ideas, you have all these stories, you have all these moments. I just learned Shakespeare, he didn't write his first main big play till he was in his 30s, I think
Mhm.
31 or 32. So
Yep.
he lived a life.
Mhm.
For instance, who's your favorite director? Just give me one. I know you got a bunch. Just name me one of them.
Denis Villeneuve.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know
Dune.
who that is.
Dune.
Okay, Dune. Oh yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, and
Enemy.
did he
Yeah.
do the Revenant?
Bad motherfucker. Huh?
Did he do the Revenant?
No, that's Inaritu. He's
Okay.
awesome too. He did like Birdman.
All up.
Am I fucking that up? No, no, no. That's
I'm a
Inaritu.
Coppola guy. I'm a Coppola.
Of course, brother. Coppola is where it's at, bro.
Okay, I'm a
That
Coppola.
dude's a
Not just and
gangster,
bro,
bro.
my favorite movie isn't The Godfather. Okay, Godfather. Those are great.
Yeah.
I'm Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, dude. That's
Bro,
probably the highest movies have ever gone. Like as far as like whatever the
right.
Shakespeare level of greatness is, like it that
You
got the
get it.
closest,
You
bro.
get it. It's not even a war movie. It's really not.
No,
It's just
it's
so happens to be.
yeah,
Right. And the reason I say that is because you're adapting a Shakespeare. I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, I'm seeing Trump era. I'm seeing area. You bring up Mexico. And I'm like, okay, that's what he was doing with Apocalypse Now. I mean, he's taking In the Heart of Darkness, da da da. He just so happens to be Vietnam of the time. It's just brilliant. But okay. So my thing is with the directors. I'm like, okay, you had a template. We all had a template. We all have our templates now.
Mhm.
We get to watch Apocalypse Now. We get to watch, right? Or for you, Dune or whatever.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
I know
Apocalypse
you
Now.
like Drive too, right? With
Oh yeah,
Okay, so
dude.
I knew, right? Okay, so anyway, I don't want to derail, but so what I'm saying is like when you're growing up, you get to like okay mirror the greatness.
Hmm. You
But
have something to work
what
on.
was Could Shakespeare even really? I know there was actors at the time, but what could he mirror? Like what
The
was
best, the what I'd say is like Homer. I'd say Euripides. I'd say Sophocles. We're talking ancient Greek theater.
Mhm.
That's I mean to this day. I mean Greece pretty much. created the society that we live in. I mean, there's a now that's an oversimplification. There's like the masters that made our country, like they really studied everything, right?
Right. Thousand
But
percent.
like the main stuff was from Greece, and the same thing with Shakespeare. Now, obviously, as far as a storyteller, he's looking at people like Chaucer and the Canterbury Tales. He's actually a uh, what's the word? A contemporary with Cervantes, who did Don Quixote.
Okay.
He actually, what's even crazier, he wasn't the most famous playwright of his day. The most famous playwright of his day was actually a man named Moliere.
Okay.
Now, Moliere did Dr. Faustus. I did me and Lucas directed and adapted an adaptation of
Saw
Faustus as
that.
well.
Yep. I saw you doing
Fucking
that.
great play. Now, so he's got guys like that, and he's looking back in time. But really, and this is actually encoded into what I'm working on here with
Right.
this thing. Um, People who even remotely know Shakespeare are going to probably really enjoy. So what I did is I like I by adapting, what we're talking about here is like I condensed Henry the Fourth, which is a two-part play usually. Condensed it into one, and then Henry the Sixth, I condensed. It's a three-part play. I condensed it into two. But the other big thing I did was I added these four characters. Okay, and these four characters do a good job of, and we'll touch on them later. But
Yeah.
these characters are Queen Elizabeth,
Right.
John Dee, William Shakespeare, and
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare. Yes. So, and we'll get to that.
Right.
I'm gonna take you down a little bit of a rabbit hole here,
Yeah. I'm with it.
and then Prince James. Okay.
Okay.
So, these were obviously Queen Elizabeth, obviously a real person. This we're talking Queen Elizabeth the First, and she is actually what is so crucial. And the reason that Shakespeare could even exist was because she was in support of the arts, right?
Okay. Okay. This is a
Now,
cute. Okay. The reason I also, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is why am I, I want to, first thing, I'm going to set the template and then I want you to continue. Why am I talking about Shakespeare?
yeah,
And, and what is the, why are we even talking about this? And, where we are currently. So people like Shakespeare are, still to be, they're still sitting on the throne. Okay.
mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
okay. So the first thing, I am finding that our current world, due to technology, a lot of people are losing the inquisitive mind.
Mm-hmm.
They're losing the ability to focus. They're losing the ability to empathize. They're losing the interest in great genius works, whether that be paintings, whether that be movies, or right. Yeah, I see it right there, Van Gogh. It's like people are losing this antenna to dream and wonder and explore, and it's also like it's there's a war against these types of conversations.
Yes, there is.
There's
Yes,
a
they're
war, and
able
it's
to
like,
have them at all.
what'd you say?
Be able to have them at all.
To be able to have them, it's like, and I'm trying to understand why people are not interested in it, and also why the animosity towards conversations like this. Okay, so that's that. So Shakespeare to me is a symbol of breathtaking human uh,
Mm-hmm.
artistry creation. He's one of the pillars, and like in music, it's like okay, Beatles or Michael Jackson or Mozart, or you know what I'm saying, like. But Shakespeare is literally seems to be in a league of his own. So
Yeah, he does.
you
Yeah,
know
he
what I'm
does.
saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason we're not saying okay, what about the reason I didn't talk to you about the Beatles today is because Shakespeare, without Shakespeare, do we have Coppola? Without Shakespeare, do we have Breaking Bad? Without Shakespeare, do we have skits on TikTok? You know what I'm saying? Like, think about like
We
storytelling.
have the ability to freely speak at all, is my
Right.
question. You
And
know.
and then okay, so and then you brought up Queen Elizabeth, with which and then I want you to continue. Another thing that I'm noticing that I think is the problem. I love the Renaissance. Okay,
Mhm.
I love what the Roman Empire left behind.
Yeah.
Art.
Yes.
I
Yes.
tell every artist, okay, my artists are my people. We
Mhm.
leave behind we are the only thing that is left of the empire. The governments never survive. The only thing that is left behind is the buildings, the architecture, the
Which is art.
paintings, the
Which
art, the works, the literature of the time of whatever. Look at Egypt. The only thing that's left to Egypt is the Sphinx
yeah.
and the hieroglyph.
Yeah.
We are left behind, bro. What we do, that's how you remember a culture and society. So now we're American, and right now our country, our culture is losing our people like us, where we don't invest in people like us. We don't venerate and we don't uplift. We don't have patronage. Where is the patronage for someone like you? You are someone uh, you are someone that deserves a society and a queen and you deserve resources so that you can speak to what you know what I'm saying? Like there's a big problem with artistry in our country. It's like so you brought up Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get you, brother.
We are under attack. Artists are under attack because of an anti. We have an anti-intellectual state right now. We are acting like monkeys. We are acting like baboons. You know what I'm saying?
We need to
And
discuss, not be breaking shit. Like let's not do
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Right.
Let's sit, drink wine, and speak. Like that's what we need
Right.
to do. But I'm serious. Like
I completely agree.
you know what I'm saying?
Dude.
So, and people like us, we need to get our swag back. We need to get our footing back. And we may have to, and we have to, that conversation needs to be started amongst people who are artists. Okay.
Mhm.
We're not here to just we serve a purpose for our culture. America will
Yeah.
not last forever. And there's going to
Yeah.
be a new thing. And
Right.
we're the ones that are going to get left. What we leave, what's going to be left behind. So our culture and all of our people should be like, hey man, we gotta do something with these people. They're creative, da da da. This is how we're gonna be. This is our legacy as Americans. Anyway, Queen Elizabeth, Shakespeare, da da da. With what
So
your adaptation?
so what's really crucial to understand about him is that her arising, and it is crucial that one, she was one of the first female like power figures in Europe. There are others. There's Catherine the Great. There's people like that. I'm pretty sure Catherine the Great was after Queen Victoria, definitely after. But the fact that she comes in there, and how she gets in there is actually from Henry VIII, right? So Henry VIII gets so fucking busy fucking all these bitches, right?
Yeah.
That he like essentially, and he doesn't ever have a male heir. Within all of that crazy shit that he was doing, cutting off bitches' heads,
Yep.
banging chicks' sisters and stuff like that, he never managed to make a male heir. And what
Yeah.
ended up happening is that like the only real valid person that could even take the throne was Elizabeth, right?
Wow.
Now Elizabeth, she was steeped in literature and Greek art and things like that. And so when she comes to power, she hires a man named John Dee. Okay. Now what John Dee technically is in her court is her court sorcerer. Okay. Now this dude is an extraordinarily mysterious figure. Okay. I don't want to go too down a rabbit hole on John Dee, but there's a lot of people that believe that this man is really Shakespeare because this is a
Wow.
whole. I'm just going to drop a few openings for rabbit holes for people to go down.
Yeah.
Uh, what's really fucking crazy? We don't actually 100% know who Shakespeare is. Like we have this picture of this guy, and
Right.
the picture is of a guy named William Shakespeare. Okay,
Oh.
now this dude was a weaver. He
This
like
is real. This is real.
this is, okay, this is real, right?
Okay.
Now, I put these characters in my play so people will start asking these questions, and
Oh
also
my God. Okay,
for the
interesting.
people that like do know Shakespeare really well,
Wait,
like
so
me.
you're saying that what you're saying, you just brought up a historical conclusion,
Hmm.
and then
Hmm.
you're adapting it in a William Shakespeare play?
Yeah, so I'm bringing so if people care enough to like start researching, it's fascinating. And for those that already have like gone down this rabbit hole a little bit, it's going to be immensely satisfying for those people because the theory, there's a lot of theories, but the theory that I subscribe to is that this man named William Shakespeare, he was a upper middle class, but he was like a self-made man.
Right.
Uh, who like wove fabrics and he sold fabrics, right?
Hmm.
And so he would go out and he made a good amount of money doing this, right? Now John Dee, on the other hand, is one of the smartest men who ever lived, right? He was used as a spy for Queen Elizabeth. He talked to angels. He had like, I mean, he was genuinely, when they call him a court sorcerer, that's the correct word for it.
You
He
say
is
talking to angels. What are we talking? What are we talking about?
like, so do you know what scrying is? So it's when you like, it's like a crystal ball essentially. So
Okay.
you like look into the crystal ball. He actually had a partner that did this. I can't remember that dude's name. And he'd be able to look into this and he'd be able to like receive messages in this language called Enochian. Okay. And you've probably heard that term if you're
Mhm.
kind of diving a little bit,
Okay.
and from that, he created an entire language. And that's what like a lot of people who are,
So
into that kind of John.
he peers into a crystal ball,
Yeah. And so he,
and
and
he's
they,
channeling a language.
yeah. So what happens is it's like the ball reflects the inner soul, which allows you to connect with the higher beings that are in existence. Right. And so, and some like it's a very few amount of people that have that ability and that talent, right? That can like actually, that when they look into that, they go into a sort of trance and they
Okay.
receive, they're like an antenna. Right. And so John Dee was like an incredibly knowledgeable man. And then he had a partner who like naturally had that ability. So this partner had no fucking idea what he was receiving, right? He's just like, I wrote down what they said. And then John was able to take all of his knowledge about everything that he was talking about and kind of funnel it into a definable, understandable language, which we call it Enochian.
Jeez.
Yeah, again,
Well, that
this is
sounds like Anunnaki. That sounds like Anunnaki.
again. I don't like. Look, I have to.
That's what I
I
know.
can't go down every rabbit hole right now. So I'm gonna keep barreling forward. So
Yeah, yeah, keep going.
now this man is incredibly intelligent. Now, and this starts to relate to what we're talking about here. Up until this point, there had been little like theater groups, and what was happening at this time is you've probably seen these little traveling circus type of people where they'd like do a monologue from Oedipus Rex, or they'd read a little bit of Chaucer, something like that, and they'd like perform it, right? No real like plays or anything, but they would go around and do this. Now, what would happen though is that depending on the king, some kings considered plays witchcraft, right? And if the
Which it definitely is.
well,
All
it's a
plays,
form
all
of it,
art is
right?
witchcraft. It's
Well,
magic.
it's one of those things where it's like not only witchcraft had, or I struggle to call it witchcraft. I'm just gonna call it magic, right?
Magic.
Like there's
Yeah,
like
it's magic.
creativity in general.
No, it's real. It's magic.
Yeah. So different kings would find that threatening, right?
Yeah.
And so they like maybe one king liked entertainment or whatever. That king dies. Next king thinks that plays are witchcraft. So then what does he do? He goes to all of the big writers in the land and murders all of them. And that happened all the time.
That's what's going on now.
It
That's
is.
that's what's going on now.
This is why I'm writing this play.
They're killing us, bro. They want to kill us.
Yes. Yes.
For real.
They really do, bro.
They
It's
do.
like this is not a joke.
And it's not just the high ups. It's literally even our fellow, you know,
Yeah.
beings. I mean,
That's what they would find. It's not it wouldn't nothing would happen if just the king said to do stuff. There has to
right.
be slave people that are willing to go out and burn these people at the stake, kill these
100%.
people, drown these people, draw and quarter these people.
Mhm.
So D, he looks at these people and he sees this is happening, right? And he's way smart, right? And extremely learned in history, right? So he goes, this is the theory, okay?
Yeah.
He starts writing these plays, right? And he realizes that these plays have some profound impact that could really help the world, right?
Mhm.
he knows that Queen Elizabeth could die any day. Just because Queen Elizabeth is in support of the of theater does not mean the next dude is going to be in support of theater.
Yeah.
Now, so he goes, well, what if I was a ghostwriter? You know, what if I found a guy that was the face of my brand, right? And the theory is he goes out, finds this mildly successful guy who makes fabrics, and then acts on the side, right? He's like a community theater type actor, but he has quite a bit of money,
Hmm.
right? And he goes, "Hey, I'll let you publish these under like a pseudonym of your name, William Shakespeare, right? And this is going to be us together, right? And we will release these, but just understand that this is a dangerous thing we're going to be doing here, right? This is, at best, Elizabeth dies and the next guy isn't like two against it, possibility. And this is, I think, what really this seems to have happened is that he could also piss Elizabeth off, right?
Yeah.
Just because she's all right with the arts doesn't mean that she's 100% hunky dory, right?
Yeah.
She, in my interpretation of Elizabeth in this thing, she's found, she goes to D, who is her, her court playwright, in my take on it. And she's like, hey, D, we just created this new technology that allows you to go back and like live as one of these like people in this time. So you can observe these other people. Right.
Yeah.
And so she sends him. She's about to do this, and he's like, "Hey, I gotta bring Shakespeare. You know that it's that he's the face of the brand." And she's like, "All right, you can bring Shakespeare." So she sends him back, and her goal is she wants him to write the history of royalty and show the people why royalty is a good thing. Why, like, having a monarchy is a good thing, and having a good monarch is very good for all people involved. Right now, our story, we begin with Richard II, and the first trilogy goes until Henry V, right? Now, for those not familiar with that, Richard II is like the proper king gets deposed because the populace does not like him, so they overthrow him, put a guy named Henry Bolingbroke on the throne. He becomes Henry IV, right? And then when he dies, the next guy is Henry V, right? Now, Henry V is one of Shakespeare's big plays, right? And Henry V is a great king, right? So when we get to the end of that, she's happy with Shakespeare and D. She's like, "Bet, dude, you did it. You showed what a great ruler can do." This man took like 1,000 people into France and conquered 10,000 French soldiers in one go. I mean, it's literally, and he like lost like 3 people. That's real. That really happened, right? So, but he dies at 26, which leaves his son, Henry VI, who is 9 months old, by the way,
Mhm.
as the ruler. The second trilogy, which is where we end up, is goes from I since I did a lot of like, chopping down and stuff like that, I went ahead, instead of going Henry VI part 1, 2, 3, I went ahead and just renamed it because the first part is really about Joan of Arc, right? And starting in Joan of Arc, the royalty in England becomes the enemy. They become the obvious out and out bad guy, right?
Right.
And this is Shakespeare's writing. It can
Mhm.
be interpreted a little bit in the Henry VI stuff,
Mhm.
but when you get to Richard III, it's the thesis of the entire thing. If
Right.
you don't know Richard III, this man murdered both his brothers. He murdered his nephews. He married his niece. Then he
Mhm.
killed her. Then tried to marry his other niece. And then at the end of the day, started a war that almost destroyed England. Right. So that being the end point, we see that Elizabeth ends up not being happy with them. Right? She's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, man, like I want some, we want the truth, but like at the same time, like we can't be making the royalty look this bad, right?
Yeah.
So you get a multifaceted look at Elizabeth, which is a crucial character to Shakespeare because without her, you wouldn't be able to do Shakespeare, right? So that's a big part of it. That's like, I mean, if there is an absolute power structure, which for most of like European history, there was an absolute power structure.
I think
The
even in
power
just human history in general, you know.
Exactly. This is why when we're talking here, and we can't even barely name like storytellers between Homer and freaking and Shakespeare, right? That's because there was powerful like I mean, I hate the word the patriarchy because it's been overused, but it's the idea that like men should be in charge. Men and masculine things are the right thing to rule the world, right? And that,
Or you know the biggest sword.
yes, yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. And the problem is that, and I've had this struggle throughout my life because I'm not like I'm a man, but like I'm in touch with my feminine side, right? So I understand.
Well, you know what I would say, and I'm not
Go for it.
negating what you're saying. I would just say, like, I am machismo. I grew up wrestling and fighting and da da da. But I think it's just intellect. I think intellect and introspection. Uh, it's not effeminate to think of things. It's not effeminate to understand what you're going through. That's not effeminate. So I wouldn't say it's your feminine side. I think art is just intellectual in itself. Uh,
Well, see, what I mean by feminine side is it's just there's the what's it called the one that's the protrusive, going out in. That's like the technical masculine, right? I'm going out into the fucking unknown and I'm not
yeah,
sure what's
but
going
wouldn't you say and what's and I think our time, you know, a man is someone, a leader is someone who speaks, and a
on.
leader is someone who goes forth. But so if a leader is someone who speaks, then he has to be articulate. And
Hmm.
if he has to be articulate, then he can't be ashamed of the ideas that come out of him.
Right.
So I push back on this idea. Uh, it's the like masculinity now is relegated to violence and
Yeah.
the ability to do violence as opposed. But the intellectuals, people who can see the world, perceive it, okay, and then move accordingly with what they perceive, that is also masculine, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and
That's no. You go. You
not
go.
even a debate. I mean, you have to be learned. You have to be perceptive to lead a nation.
Exactly.
You do. It just goes hand in hand. So I think our culture in modern day, because of the all of these different ideas on gender and da da da. We've kind of lost, and a lot of men nowadays are restricting uh, their capacity for the mind because
Right.
they're afraid of being perceived as feminine or da da da. When that's just on its face ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
every man wants to be the height that he could be, and to be the height that you could be, you have to be a leader. That's
Right.
what we're all trying to be a leader of our lives, our families, or whatever. When you talk about patriarchy. But it's
Yeah.
like, but with that comes you have to have a clear vision, and to have a clear vision, you have to be articulated. So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get you, brother.
You know what
When
I'm
you
saying?
got what I mean by this is I think because um do, people who like almost define themselves as a man or
Yeah.
as masculine, what happens is they lose touch of those things that are feminine, right? And that doesn't mean we gotta like be ushy gushy all the time and
Mhm.
talk about our feelings all the time. It's just understanding that as much as you are the protrusion, you have to also receive sometimes, which is feminine,
Which is
that's
learning.
okay. Yes, you have to be able to allow it in. And until you can like receive and then give, you're just like you're not really like
You're like a
being
train track. You're like a train track that has no divots. No, you don't.
exactly,
Yeah, you'll just go
exactly,
right into a rock just
right,
because I only
exactly
go
it,
straight.
bro.
I only go straight, bro. That's all I do.
Dude, that's it, bro.
Um,
That's it.
I can't make a,
Absolutely.
a divot around the rock. What do you mean, bro? You got
Exactly.
to. That's not smart. You got to go here and then go. No, bro. We go only one way.
We're going through the rock.
We're
I
going
think
through the
we can take
rock,
it, bro.
bro.
We got plenty of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the problem. It's like you gotta be like just because you are a man doesn't mean that you can't bend a little bit, you can't like twist a little bit. You know, those it's like it's this weird like ego thing where it's like I have to be the most manly. And you know, it's like
That's why I said to you, I was like, dude, that they don't, you're not talking, those people are not learned. Okay. These people are not very smart. Okay.
no, because they can't receive. They
They
can't
can't,
learn.
well, you have to receive information. Like, for instance, like, I'll sit here and we're listening, but we're talking. I have to be able to, I'm not trying to assert on you. I'm trying to understand. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm trying
yes.
to understand you, and then you're trying to understand me. That's just good conversation. Da da da. I think I think the real. I don't put think I'm a man. I have a dick. You know, a girl. Blah blah blah. I don't put this whole masculine, feminine. Da da da. Really what it's about is competence. And these men, you know, when they're talking about masculinity, it's like they're really saying, I want to be the most competent. Okay, da da da. And being the most competent is life is violent. Life
Mhm.
can be life you do have to gather resources in life. So it's like, but also once that's done, once you can protect yourself, I carry my gun on me. You can protect yourself, you can get resources, you work, right? You get yourself right, and you cover all those bounds. Then what do you do with your life? Well, there's a lot of things to explore, a lot of things to see. Like, women are beautiful, women are art.
Yes, they
A
are.
woman's body, exactly. So I don't listen to these people when they're talking about because a woman's body is art.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you say, oh, I love a woman's, dude, that's art. The curves, the proportions,
Yeah.
the eyes, the hair, that's art. You're looking at art.
God's fucking masterpiece,
Okay, let me
brother.
tell you real quick. So it's telling me less than a minute. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna end this, and then we're gonna go right back to it because there's like a 40-minute
Okay,
limit.
bet.
Okay,
I'll be
okay,
here.
one. Okay, got you. Stop. Started on. Don't get me started on my. I'm an interesting cat, okay? You know, I know you like, for instance, I know like politically people like I always said, just dude, just sit me down and you'll understand my viewpoint, bro. Capitalism, I got my fucking issues with it too, okay? I wanna Zoom, they're trying to fucking, get some money out of me. You gotta stop after 40 minutes. I got my issues with capitalism, bro. Especially as
Right,
an artist. I got my issues
right,
with it, bro.
right.
I do. I'm not some fucking, I'm not right wing, left wing. I'm just, let's be brilliant. Okay.
Right. I'm just trying to rock through this thing, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stay open and
Yeah.
stay up, you know?
But I have ideas. But
Yes.
I need people like you
Mhm.
in to communicate. So, and we're in a place of mutual respect. It's not just
Exactly.
war. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Anyway, so we were talking about
A little bit
dude,
of a
that's a big no, but that's a big point. Okay. Is
Mhm.
this anti like I think I think like, for instance, my mother is a perfect example of, what I think what uh feminism now, I think
Yeah, now that's an important distinction. That's a very
feminism now, like I told bro, I grew up with a single mom, okay? And
yeah.
I grew up, I needed her to be strong. I needed her to take care of her, my sister and I. My father dipped out. So
Mhm.
I'm not gonna tell my mom your entire life because of my father leaving you was worthless. No, you adapt. You have to
Mhm.
survive, so but there is a natural, men are naturally a way. Women are
Mhm.
naturally a way. Women have a gift of a energy type. You know, when you're with your woman, you're with
Mhm.
her and you're like, I can't feel like this with anybody but your type of human that God made you. You're divine. Women are divine. There's an energy that they bring that only they have.
The
And
divine feminine, baby.
it's real.
Mhm.
There's
It
literally
really
a
is.
calming, it's
Yeah.
nature. It's the womb of life, bro.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, we I love having conversations like this, da da da, because it's important for enlightened people to
Hmm.
shed light on this is what it's really about. This is why we're really doing this. This is why we're here. And I don't think a Shakespeare, I don't think a Shakespeare today would survive or even become relevant in the current climate because of the war of ideas and the war we're at, the barbarism that we're seeing all around the world.
That's I could definitely see that, but I believe I don't remember who
Make me
said
hopeful. Make me hopeful.
it's but it's it's in the darkest moments that our greatest minds rise, you know.
1000%.
It's and so I mean this whole thing may produce like the dude above Shakespeare. You know, the guy that finally I mean there's one guy that I would argue is at least right under the level, a guy named James Joyce. If you've never read Joyce, that is a trip unlike anything you will ever have in your existence, brother. It is. But even then, I think it's like, man, dude, the Shakespeare stuff is maybe it's arbitrary to put things in some sort of, ranking system or
I
whatever.
look at
But
it. You lifted weights before.
yeah, oh yeah, I love lifting weights.
Okay. It's I like it. I think that lifting weights is a perfect analogy for prolonged success. And because you can, it's so physical. It's literally it's math and it's physics. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Body moving weight. Okay. I lift 135 pounds like this, bring it back. So William Shakespeare holds a weightlifting record. Okay.
That's a great way to play, bro.
He holds a weightlifting record, or the mile, right? He holds a weightlifting record. Where I see things, I am as hopeful as you. I have our society. In order to get that record, his time created a gym, and there was weights, and there were people around him to record the
Yeah.
weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Record what was done, and they hoisted him up, and you understand what I'm saying? There was so many elements to that time that allowed someone like that to come about. I'm obsessed with this idea, and pe- our world is degenerating. It's degenerating. It's and it can be stopped. I'm just saying like the
I know
reason
what you mean, bro. I know what you mean. I
like
totally am on the same page.
because the society of Shakespeare created Shakespeare just as much as Shakespeare created Shakespeare.
Hmm.
You're an artist. We have to have an audience.
Hmm.
Okay? If you're Coppola, you got to have people go to the theater. You're the Beatles. Someone I just had a conversation with someone about the Beatles. I said, "You don't understand. I don't look at the 60s and 70s and say, "Oh, blah blah blah, they were better than us." In some ways maybe. I'm competitive. We're lifting the weights. Well, here's what I do say. I said, "But the people of the 60s and 70s were a better people because they were buying a billion Beatles records."
Right. Right.
Okay? Plumbers and worksmen and politicians and presidents were listening to the Beatles.
Right.
So the
Right.
Beatles were able to
The full
exist.
mile.
The
Hmm.
Beatles were able to exist. And what maddens me and is there are great artists right now. There are geniuses right now that aren't getting an audience because our society is so degenerate. Okay? You understand what I'm saying?
I totally get
Our
what you're saying.
our society is so degenerate that our legacy of this time is being written by barbarians. Do you understand?
Oh, I totally agree. My caveat and my hope,
I'm with you. I'm
I
on the
have to
hope
keep
part.
it,
1,000%.
is I completely agree with everything you said, but here's what I think about Shakespeare is that as much as the society did come to him, like there's that phrase of where there's a will, there's a way. It's like a
1,000%.
platitude, right? But it's like
It's
it's
real.
weird how true it is,
It
man.
no, it's real. I know it's real.
You
Yes.
go out into this fucking universe and you say, I don't give a fuck what you say, universe. I'm
1,000%.
moving to this thing. I'm going to do this. Okay. I don't care if I have to swerve a little bit. I don't care if I have to climb a fucking mountain. I don't care what it costs. I'm
1,000%.
going to do it, right?
Mhm.
And that's what Shakespeare did. He
Yep.
didn't let anything stop him. Now,
Mhm.
granted, the society was right for it, but there's a
But
degree.
was it, maybe you could also say it wasn't,
That's what I'm saying. Is there's
because there
never
was no one before him.
exactly right. So
Right.
it takes somebody. It, History gets changed by people, right? By
Exactly.
people making choices, right? And um, And the way I'm looking at it is how I live my own life is like, all right, well, if Shakespeare could do this much with just writing, like what could I accomplish? Like what if I stopped limiting myself, if I stopped saying that I can't do this or I can't do that and instead just pick that fucking weight up and lift that fucking
Exactly.
weight every single day,
Mhm.
what could I accomplish?
Exactly.
And the answer to that question is no fucking idea. There's
Mhm.
only one way to find out, and that is to get the fuck up every day,
Mhm.
get in that fucking gym, put the
Hit
weight
those
on your
squats.
back, and
Exactly.
stand up over
Yep.
and over and over and over. And
Mhm.
I've been doing this. I've been acting for 20 years now, and professionally for 7,
Mhm.
8 actually. uh and that's what it is. It's even in those times where there was a year where I didn't do anything, where I wasn't casted in anything. I just couldn't find a good role for me. I couldn't find somebody, or if I did find a good role, they weren't looking at me for the role,
Mhm.
things like that. And that's where a lot of artists turn around, is they're like, that's like there's no, I'm not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Are they? That's where you decide if you're a thoroughbred or not.
Right. And are you going to create your own light? Everybody has the ability to create their own light in their own soul, but are you going to go and are you going to fucking get in there and rub those tenders together inside yourself to keep that fire burning,
Mhm.
and that's the only difference between me and anybody who has not done this is just that I kept going and I'm going to keep going and
Yeah,
nothing is going to fucking
because
stop
you're
me
a
from achieving.
thoroughbred. You're
Yeah.
thoroughbred. A horse got a horse.
That's right, brother. Horse got a horse, brother.
A horse got a horse, bro. See, that's the thing, bro. I agree, bro. I totally agree with you, dude. Like, I'm in this. Whatever I am, I'm in this till I'm done. You
Yeah.
know. And there is no that. Like, I don't do Plan B shit, dude.
Oh, me neither.
I don't pop Plan Bs, bro. If that baby's
No,
coming, that
baby.
baby's
I
coming,
make
bro.
sure I pull out.
Yeah, I'm not popping. I don't do. I just don't. I've never respected Plan B people. I'm just gonna
Right?
say.
I'm
I
like,
just
no, brother, you
what?
can't. I'm like, brother, you can't just hold it. Like,
No.
I know exactly what is going to happen every time, brother. Like,
Mhm.
you don't know.
And like like when my grandmother died, it was the most beautiful life lesson. I
Mm,
saw her and I was just like, that's me.
yeah, I'm gonna die.
I'm going to die. I
There's
am not holding up some facade. I'm
mm-mm,
living this thing till it's gone.
right. I'm fucking.
I'm
I'm
being what I want
fucking
to fucking be.
pull one knife out of myself, put it in the other person, brother. It ain't. It's a
Mhm.
matter of like at some point, I so I went through like 3 phases of being an artist, where, and honestly, there's a guy, James Joyce, we're talking about him, he had a book called, it's so good. It's called The Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man. And it goes through this kind of development, right? Where at first, I found out, dude, I'm fucking smart. I can
Mhm.
make stuff. People want to listen to me when I talk. Dude, I
Mhm.
could get girls with this. I could fucking
Mhm.
make money with this. This is awesome, dude.
Mhm.
Oh man. And it was like
Yeah.
almost like the defining aspect of my personality. But
Mhm.
then I made a mistake with it. I hurt somebody that I really cared by like getting so in my own fucking head about it. And
Yeah.
I realized like this it's a power and a power is responsibility, right? And so there was a long time where, I was always making music and I was always working on stuff and I, continued to be in plays and everything. But I kind of hid from that power. I kind of zoned it out, bro. That's an immense amount of power,
Yeah.
But at one day, I was sitting there and I just go, bro, I was like, man, this should be happening. There should be plays for like anybody to come in and like get paid. Like, and you could get it like this. Why is this not happening? And then it hit me as like, it's because Trevor, you're not doing it. If you're looking around and you see something that needs to get done and nobody's doing it,
Mhm.
that's because it's your responsibility to do it. And
Mhm.
it hit
Be
me in
the
that moment.
Shakespeare.
Yes, exactly. And that moment, I went, okay, so I'm gonna pick this up. And then a little further down the road, I realized, damn, bro, this is not a game. Like this is not like it's not like they will fucking kill you, like for sure. I mean, the laundry list of people that have been murdered for speaking what they really truly think is infinite, you know.
And
And
what
so
do
then
you
I'll
think?
get.
You know, what's interesting about it is I think that that is really the plight of a mind that has a flickering candle.
Mm,
Is
mm-hmm.
that there are people that they don't have a candle and they see your candle and they need to extinguish it because there's something that they're lacking that they see. They see the
Yep.
candle. They don't
Yep.
have, why don't I have a candle?
Right.
Why am I, because you have a love for life. We have a
Mm-hmm.
love for life. We want to live
Exactly.
this. Love experiences. We love we see beauty in life and they don't have that. And so they go after whatever. If you're speaking truth to power, if you're speaking an idea that people don't like, but it's still true, that they
Mm-hmm.
do.
Mm-hmm.
They
And
try to
that's
take it out.
you gotta and you know and that again that freaked me out at first. I mean it still does. It's still but at some point you gotta make that choice. It's like am I gonna go and just be asleep? Am I gonna live a slave? Or am I gonna fucking live and die on what I believe? And
Because you're
and
going to die. You're going to
yeah,
die.
exactly. I'm gonna die no matter what. And there's a guy named Chris D'Elia. I don't know if you ever watched any of his
Love
stand up.
Crystal.
Dude, that dude is fucking funny.
Yeah.
Now, right before he was like accused of doing shit that he didn't do, I don't know how much you kept up to that. He
Mhm.
didn't do any of that shit,
Right.
right? He had a special. It was one of my favorite specials, and at the end of it, he's like, I realized the reason that this story had bothered me was because I didn't stand for anything. If I just suddenly died, I'd have no idea why I died. And I don't
Mhm.
want that. I want to, if I die, I want it to be like, oh, that's why,
Right.
and,
Yeah.
and that hit me, bro. I was like, man, it's like, I am going to die. But if I
Mhm.
die in my bed when I'm 90 and I didn't do at least give everything I had to this
Mhm.
thing that in my soul gives my life purpose and joy,
Yeah.
and I didn't do that, I'd be
Yeah.
pissed. I'd be so angry. I've seen these people that didn't go for what they want in their life, and they're bitter and they're angry and they're sad.
Yeah. So
But
they feel like shit. So they were
exactly
wrong. You
right.
were wrong. I'm
There's
not
that
wrong
quote.
for I'm not wrong for I see the stopwatch, I see the fucking ticker going, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, this is gonna stop one day. Why don't
Yeah,
I just feel good? Like I'm gonna feel good. Like fuck it. I don't know. How long am I gonna be
right,
here? I don't know. Let me chase shit that's like exciting. Cool.
right.
That's a life well lived. That's a life well lived.
My fire going until the moment somebody comes and takes it out.
Dude,
That's
I ain't fucking paper pushing, bro. Fuck that shit, dude.
no sir,
Fuck,
no sir,
I'm not some accountant, you fucker. I'm not doing that shit, dude.
no fucking way.
Who wants that? Let's get a computer
No,
to do it, not me.
no,
Fuck
bro. You can
that.
if you slavey people want to do that shit, that's up to you, brother. But we don't.
Yeah.
If all
Someday,
of us
maybe you do
spoke
like
up, we wouldn't
crunching
be
the
doing that.
numbers. What
You
is
said
it?
what?
Maybe you do like crunch numbers. Do your
Man,
shit. Do your
right,
thing. Not me.
right, man. Even people that like to crunch numbers, like there's still people are total pieces of shit versions of
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
like people who are like, because the numbers.
Everybody watches Netflix.
Yes, we do.
If
Yes,
you're right, if you're well, HBO Max is better. But
right.
if everybody, even the number crunchers, love a good movie. They
Oh
love a
yeah,
good story. They love good art. Everybody. They
right.
want something to
There
entertain
could be
them.
there could be an accountant with fucking fire, bro. I've known them. Like
Mhm.
they just love math. They love doing that shit, and
Dude,
they and
I live my. I got a guy above me. He's a mathematician. He just does math all day.
bro,
That's it.
exactly. It's a matter of like you gotta find what it is that you want to do. Like what is it? Like get all the other stuff out of the way. Like what do you actually want to do? And once you find that, like it really becomes like it becomes very clear. It's like,
Yep.
oh, I want to do this. The only people stopping me from doing this are people who don't fucking understand anything anyway. And if I go down,
Exactly.
it's like Luffy says in One Piece. It's like if I die pursuing my dream, that's cool. Like that's all good. I was
You want to
pursuing.
die with a stick up your ass in the
No,
fucking chair at your corpo? No.
fuck that,
No
bro.
one wants that. They're miserable. Here's another, bro. One thing I love about being artistic and really I call it, we're just candles, okay, with light. We're candles with flame. When you're a candle with flame, everybody has an opinion on you, but deep down they want your candle. They want
Yeah.
your candle. They want that flame. So you have to understand that whether you're an athlete, which is physical art. It's like you're an athlete or you're whatever, an entrepreneur. You want it, but you made a little gizmo and you give it to people. Like
Mhm.
whatever, we are just an energy of beauty.
Mhm.
Artists, we just create beauty that we put in the world in these different mediums.
Mhm.
And everyone can have an opinion. Well, what don't you want to do? No, I don't. I don't. So
I'd
like there's no
rather
point in
just step
talking.
out.
I just want to I'm going to keep doing this and guess what? Then you can be an audience for it and then you'll understand, "Oh, I'm so grateful that Shakespeare did what he did because
Yeah.
now I get to like forever go into that work."
Mhm.
Everyone's grateful now. Maybe at the time they didn't understand, but
Yeah.
now everyone's grateful. The entire world got enriched because
Yeah.
some people like Shakespeare. Well, not just, but people like Shakespeare are people, artists. Bro,
Yeah.
we took a fucking leap and said, I'm living.
Yeah.
I'm going to live.
This
I'm not.
moment where light showed up in darkness, bro. And that's why we remember it. That's why, because like it's not like just right now we're in a dark time. We've been in a dark time for thousands of years, you know? And so the moments that people were like, fuck it, we remember them because it's that important. It's that important to have your light on. And people, and it's like you said, like that one of the things you're going to have to deal with when it's on is like there's a Dylan quote that does it perfectly. Is like, the rules of the road have been lodged, but it's only people's games you got to dodge. You as long as you continue to be honest with yourself and bring that honesty out in others, you're doing your part. Other
You brought
people are going to make your life sometimes miserable because they're just so empty and unhappy that
Mhm.
they're gonna try and steal that light.
They're
They're gonna try
demons,
and
bro.
snuff that
They're the
light.
demons.
Yeah, yeah, that's the
They're
correct
demons.
word for it.
They're
Yeah,
possessed. That's possession. I'm not possessed. You're possessed.
right, right.
You're trying to darken me, to darken the world.
Yes, you're trying to snuff out people being able to speak what makes sense to them, and that's
And
ultimately that's what we're looking at with the with leadership across the world. It's why again, when we ask like, why has Shakespeare been such a rare breed? It's because like you have to face your death in order to create something like this because you may piss off the wrong guy. And the wrong guy could just make you disappear, or at least so he thinks, and that's enough. That's enough
yeah.
for him to go and pull the trigger, right? So it's like, but at the end of the
That
day,
makes
it's
me think
like,
of John Lennon.
yes. I mean, we got John Lennon. I mean, it's not just someone like that. I mean, Shakespeare himself, man.
Mhm.
John D was right because when Elizabeth died, he was put in jail and killed, bro. Even though
Who
he did,
John D was or
yes,
jeez.
John D. We don't. Shakespeare died at like 35. Like so, he had he had like all of his great plays very quickly, and then was dead. Like that. And again, that's a whole like we do not have enough time in like hours to go down the rabbit hole of the fact that we actually don't know for sure that the guy that changed all of our lives was really the guy that we think he is, like literally.
Yeah.
So it's and again that goes back to that same thing where it's like great thinkers throughout history have hidden a lot of the stuff that the really juicy stuff because
Tesla.
yeah. Yeah. That dude might as well be the Shakespeare of like, fucking his art,
Yeah.
like there probably, I mean, while we're talking about like, the weights, there's probably been people who have in other fields reached the same level of like, I mean,
Ingenuity.
yeah, like I saw, like I was, when I was doing a
Well,
play, I
I
was,
love that you brought up the murder part, okay?
yes,
Because it's almost like this. How much weight do you want to push? And how big of a target as you push more weight? Because the mind, once you free the mind, Once you devote to the mind being a complete vessel of the genius electricity that comes in,
Yes, sir.
how willing are you to get murdered by the world because you're showing them a true mirror of what we're dealing with? Like Tesla is like, hey, by the way, electricity, grab it from the air, kill him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
Like
Wait.
Shakespeare writing all these plays about kings and like King Lear and kill him.
So
You
much, bro.
know,
Like there's it. We don't even
Kubrick,
yeah,
Kubrick,
fucking right. What happened to
they
him? Oh,
murdered him. They
yeah, right.
murdered
He
him.
turned in Eyes Wide Shut, and literally that day he died.
They
Kind of,
murdered him. And
kind of.
guess what? That movie is Epstein coded.
Yes, it is,
It's
bro.
Epstein.
Yes, it is. Yes,
It's
and
what
that's
it is. I
and you
watched
got
that movie and I'm like, dude, he's given the blueprint.
he's
He's
telling us
literally
all
given
what
the blueprint.
happened, bro. Yeah, he's 70 years old. He's like, I've had a good career. I've had a good life. Fuck it, it's time to go. You
It's
know,
time to go.
poked on. He knew he had to know that poking that nerve, like, because
Yeah.
it's one thing to hint at things like that, but he just showed it, bro. He's like, this is
And
what's
guess what?
actually
Did you hear
happened.
about the narration? The missing narrations?
No.
And obviously the cut footage, there's 20 plus minutes of cut footage and there's missing narration.
Oh my god.
Like, you know the part when he's in the morgue and he's looking at the prostitute?
Hmm.
And there's that long thing where he's looking. Remember
Hmm.
that? With
Yeah, yeah.
that's supposed to be narrated. That's supposed to
That.
be, and obviously, you know the ending with the people, like those two people were taking the daughter. Like there's more footage.
Yeah, yeah.
There's more
For sure.
footage. Like no, he literally there was like 20 minutes of footage.
Like after that, or like throughout.
No, that was supposed, throughout, but that was supposed to be that was cut.
That's fucking.
Like this is not a debate. I mean, Kubrick literally he's showing you what power and wealth and what they, and how the deviancy. It doesn't just have to be about sex, but the deviancy of power. And these
Yeah.
people that are supposed to be holier than thou, they're better than everybody, but they're
Hmm.
deviants.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's something unsacred, and it's so I love when you brought it up earlier, the whole murdering part. I was trying to, and now I understand. Because we're deep in it, but I understand what you're saying. Like I there is like when you touch a nerve on our culture and reality, it's like you elevate so much that the animal and baboon you can turn someone into that because they don't want to deal with what you're bringing them.
It's like I like to look at it like this. It's like it's all frequencies, right? So the more refined you become, the higher your frequency becomes. Now, how that actually like physically is experienced is it's like a really low frequency. Obvious, we're musical people,
Yeah.
is right. But the higher, if this is a low frequency person, not and we're starting here, right? But
Yeah.
I'm rising up in the frequency. Eventually, that frequency to them is gonna be like if they can hear it, is a high pitched whine, right? So it's like literally physically
Oh my God.
immediately fucking annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a dog whistle. You can't even hear it anymore.
That
And they
is
so
what
they can't understand us.
right. They just see the movement around it and they want it to stop. They don't
Yeah.
understand. And again, it goes back to what we were talking earlier, where it's this idea. It's not masculinity. It's men who define themselves by these like outward characteristics of masculinity that are doing this, right? And I mean, women can be like this too. There's women that define themselves by the outside characteristics of
Yeah.
themselves. But it's what's happening is that they do not understand. They literally, because everything is A to B to C to D
Yeah.
to, just a fucking, like you said, a straight track.
Yeah.
They do not understand why anyone would have fun. Like why would anybody enjoy themselves at any
Right.
point in life?
Hmm.
And so when that starts to happen, this natural enjoyment, their only thought is like, this has got to stop because this is
Right.
causing chaos, right?
Hmm. To
And
them, because
yeah,
they don't
exactly.
understand the pitch.
Yeah, they're literally not on they're not hearing the song. They're like it's and you can hear them. They're like asking, there's people that are like barely hearing the song and these are the people. I don't know if you've ever seen like old Bob Dylan interviews, but they crack me
Oh
up.
my God, yes.
Dude, they're so funny. There's this one lady that I'm
Have you
thinking
seen
of
the
right
San
now.
Francisco one?
Is that the one where he's like in 65 where he's like
Black and
fucking
white.
That's what I'm talking about. So
Smoking.
there's this bitch in there who's like, um, people say that your words have a subtle message. Would you say your songs have a subtle message or an obvious message? And he goes, I don't what?
What?
Like
You know,
it's misunderstanding the point of music. Like
I
it's
think
not
that I
about
think
like
your analogy with the frequency is literally perfect.
it's
And I
exactly
think
what
it's
it is.
I really do think that's perfect.
And it came to me because so I've been developing kind of my own like style of working out, like I've blended tai chi, yoga, and then like traditional weights. And
Fuck yeah, I'm with it. Fuck yeah,
dude,
let's go.
I love it. And it has changed my like I didn't realize how much you could move around like the foundations of your physicality to like heal yourself in a profound way.
Yeah.
But as I started to do this, some people are super curious and they come up and they ask me and we become friends. But
Well,
there's like,
can I ask one thing?
yeah,
You said but you're doing weightlifting and Tai Chi. What?
yeah.
Okay. So
Dude, it
is
looks hilarious, bro. Like
lightweight? Are we doing lightweight? We're not doing
uh,
heavy.
all around, all around. So
Okay.
it's
You're at the
more.
gym doing this?
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
So
hardcore.
right now, here's what it is. You're on a frequency,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a little bit lower because I'm trying to understand. You're this new thing you're on. You're at a little bit higher frequency of thinking on something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 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 the barbarian right now.
That's all
Why
right.
don't you just do? Why don't you just do bench press or all right? So I'm trying. Let me just. I'm gonna raise. I'm not
Go
gonna
for
kill
it.
you. I'm not gonna kill
Go
you.
for it.
But
Go for it, bro.
I'm trying to understand.
I love these things.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. So it's like we get people like that, but then you have, and it's funny. The first person that really did it to me is this guy named Chadwick. Okay, and he is like ultimate Chad, bro. And his name is Chadwick White, bro. Okay, so I was just standing in here doing my thing, right? And like so what I do it more like by time, right? So I'll like set a timer and I'll just like stand in front of like let's say it's a rope pole, right? I'll stand there and I'll like picture in my mind like the most perfect, beautiful version of myself, just muscles rippling, all of it in the right spot, just
Right.
killing it, right?
Right.
And I'll just sit there and I'll picture that. And then what starts to happen is the body responds to that dream, right? To that picture of yourself, right? And so it starts to move in the way that it would need to move in order to do that, right? And at first, when you're first starting, it's like super small movements. Like just like literally you're just like standing there breathing and you're like maybe moving your fingers or whatever. It's reteaching your body not to function on tension, but to function on the energy that exists inside your body, right?
Mhm.
So I'm sitting there, I'm doing this, right? Breathing in, and that's a big thing. You're matching that mental with the
Physical.
breath, and then slowly letting the body catch up because it's way behind.
Yeah.
I had this guy named Chadwick come up to me, right?
Yeah.
This is after people started like filming me in public, like
Oh my
100.
God. See, I hate the haters, bro. Just let
Yeah,
people
it's
live, bro.
crazy. It gets worse though. So
Well, nothing
Chadwick,
that you didn't say anything stupid. You said I'm visualizing my body before I work out. What's dumb about that?
dude,
That's
you,
not
you got,
dumb.
you got me, bro.
Literally.
I don't get it.
No.
It's different, but I mean, there's people in there doing yoga. Yoga's
And
fucking wild, bro.
okay,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Give me a break.
so it's like, so I'm standing there, right? And this guy named Chad comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing, bro?" I'm like,
Barbarian, you understand?
"Yes." I
That's a
was
barbarian.
this dude had been like gawking at me for weeks, bro, and like he's like seems like he didn't fucking understand that I totally knew that he was fucking watching me. And
Right.
finally he comes up, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing here, bro? This is fucking stupid." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You're not even doing anything, bro. You're just fucking like standing there, like fucking wasting my time." I'm here for 3 minutes, bro. I got a timer right here. I'm moving on to the next fucking thing. He's like, no, no, no. You cannot just sit here and act like a retard in public. And I was like,
You're the
wow.
retard. Dog, you're for real a retard. If he would just if he it, like and I've seen videos of people at Planet Fitness where they're doing some crazy shit and I'm like that could be dangerous. Like I've seen people with the neck pull, the entire thing. I'm like you might show up with that. What you said, there's nothing wrong with that. You go to it could be it could be dumbbell, whatever you're doing. You are looking at you're closing your eyes, breathing, getting your body ready to do a workout. If that offends someone, your frequency of thought is what offended. Really, truly.
That's
And
dude.
you never lower your frequency because some other person is offended. That's retarded.
it's so stupid, bro.
That's really stupid.
It's but that's what made me understand the frequency thing. It's like
Okay,
I
let
was
me
like,
tell you this. I have just to add to what you're doing. I have dude. I've done all the workout. Da 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 da. There's two things I do. I fast all the
oh, me too,
time,
me too.
and I only do two sets. I do two sets of push-ups, 50
Okay,
apiece. I do two sets of 10 pull-ups. So I do 20 pull-ups a day, 100 push-ups, perfect form. 20 squats,
Mhm.
and I do dumbbell raises
Oh
and then
yeah,
bicep curls. That's all I do.
man.
I do it 6 days a week.
Yeah,
And some people, blah blah blah. And guess what? Chiseled, six pack, da da da. And they'd say, "You're not working out enough." No, I'm working out exactly what I need to do.
right.
I'm doing exactly what I need to do. And so someone would be like, "No, man, you got to be in the gym 3 hours and da da da." It's like, no, because I'm an artist like you, dude. My body, I want the physique. I want the best physique for my artistry. I'm not trying to get big.
Right.
I'm
I'm
just
just
trying to,
trying to be able to move,
yes,
like that's what I'm trying.
stretch.
I stopped like about, 5 years ago. I really like, I was like, I think the problem is that I'm, focusing on, the physique, as I'm trying to look a certain way.
Right.
And actually what I'm in here for is I'm here to, make myself feel better.
Feel.
I'm here to like work. I'm here to tell yesterday Trevor to fuck off and do better, like
Love
that's
it.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, like what's great is what I love about the gym is that, depending on how much time you have or whatever, you can spend like there's no limit to how short or long your gym visit should be. It's just the fact that you just need to get in there. You just need to get, even if you don't go to the gym, just have a spot in your house that you go, and every time you work out, you do it there, and you get in that mindset, and you just get better and better and better, and then that bleeds out into every single aspect of your
It
life. Like
does.
if you get in that gym, you get on that mat, you do a little tai chi, your body's going to start moving better, and you're going to start like what your body is, and this is 100% true. I found
Tai
it is
Chi is this
right.
stuff, right?
Yes, it's
How is
slow,
that different than yoga?
dude. You got me, brother. You got
Okay, so all those people, oh, I'm going to do yoga. Okay, so they don't talk shit on yoga now because they dominated. So now wait for Tai Chi to bring its shit. It's going to
right,
breathing. Then he'll
dude.
be doing it. 10 years, he'll be doing it.
Dude, for real, bro, for real. Like, so my
Then you'll
like,
be on a different thing and he'll be like, fuck
like
that.
this fucking guy,
Get back to Tai Chi, bro.
you gotta fucking get on what I'm on, bro.
Yeah.
What's great though
I
is that,
was on that. I'm on something new.
dude, I'm
Stupid.
always on something new, bro.
Yeah.
What's great is that the first so when I first like really like locked it in, I was like, okay, because I got the vision of what I should do about like 6 years ago, like how I should do this, like
Mhm.
and what it would theoretically look like and be like, but I could tell that it was a little odd and different, so I was kind of like. Like, most of it was just getting the confidence to like get in the gym and be
Yeah.
different than people, right?
Yeah.
And when I finally got that confidence and it locked in and it all came together, I had a lot of pushback from like the world. I actually got kicked out of a gym, right? Just for fucking doing this, right? Because enough people went and bitched to the fucking
Oh my God. But you weren't
yeah,
doing anything. You were breathing, bro.
dude,
Dude,
you
I'm
got
not, I'm, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like we're at war. They're at war
yes. Yeah.
with people that are pushing and moving
Yes.
and expanding and creating. They're at war.
Fine.
They're seriously like you can't now you're telling me you're getting kicked out of a gym for breathing. Maybe you're doing this, whatever, but you're breathing right before you just leave me alone. What are you looking
Like
at?
that's all I've ever asked. Is like
Like, seriously, I'm here to do
I'm
my
gonna fuck with
shit.
your shit. Like I'm not
Yeah.
here. I'm timing myself. I'm not sitting on this thing too long. Like I'm here. I'm just doing my thing. But what is cool, and this
Why is
is,
that offensive? You're not
dude, I have
whipping
no
your dick out and being like, "No, this is a part of it." No, you're not doing
no, no,
that.
no, no.
Obviously, that would be an issue.
Right,
We're
right.
not
But
Adam and Eve. I wish we could be all, the naked. But I get it.
one day in the distant future, maybe. But
Maybe.
but just moving, just functional movement. Like I couldn't believe it, bro. And
You know what?
but
No, no, you know what it was. This is what
what?
it, dude, it's free. It really is frequency, bro.
Yep.
Okay. No, that's really what it is. You could have literally just been doing lifting weights, but your mind, human beings have Bluetooth. I fully believe this. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we have
It's a good way to
Bluetooth.
put it.
No, we do. And when you have a frequency and you're putting it out, people are either attracted to that or they want to squash it. And you are just breathing, closed eyes, doing your shit. And your frequency was enough that people were like, we have to gang around this and kill it.
Mhm.
That's what they
Yeah,
did,
that's
bro.
exactly what happened, bro. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
It was, I mean, we're talking
ridiculous.
like 7 or 8 people that would consistently like go to the fucking manager. The manager there was pretty decently cool. He's like, hey man, I don't
I don't
see
even
anything
understand why
happening
I have to
here,
talk
bro.
to
I
you.
don't understand why they're talking to me about this, but like, eventually what happened was, is like he's like, look, I gotta like, there's only so much I can do here. It's like
That's the prison guard who that those are, like, if not to derail, but it's like people following orders.
that's exactly what it was, man. You
And you
know,
know what? I don't know. I don't defend those people though. If you don't agree with something, you don't follow.
right? I honestly, I dislike those people more than I dislike Chadwick.
A thousand percent. A
Chadwick's a
thousand
dick,
percent. I
but
respect.
he's
He's
honest, bro.
Chadwick's coming to war.
Yeah,
You're acting like you're not, but you're doing their bidding. You're
right.
worse.
What a
You're
little
worse.
bitch, bro. Like I
Yeah, at
can't
least
stand those people.
Chadwick, he'll go back to lifting weights. He doesn't tell me to leave.
Right,
You literally are doing his bidding. You're worse.
right.
You're the executioner.
You're not only Chadwick, you're Chadwick's bitch, bro. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Man, we got less than a minute. We
Okay.
should like
One
end.
second.
Yeah,
End it, and then I'll be right back.
but
Uh,
we back.
back.
But what is cool though is, despite the Nazi guards and Hitler himself,
Hmm.
what I kept going, like
Yeah.
you know, did, and that was one of the big leaps of faith in my entire existence. Was like, I really believe, I was really betting, and I still am. I bet on myself. I really believed in this thing that I've been developing, and I was like, look, man, I'm in this for whatever consequence is about to happen here at this
Yeah.
point.
You were
It,
playing a dissonant chord.
yeah, to them, right?
Yeah. And then the church said we gotta kill this chord. He's playing a seventh chord.
Yeah,
Really
right,
bad.
right. The devil's chord. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they,
I hate that shit, dude. It's really
left there,
stupid.
dude. But what's cool though? It's stupid, but once you actually really buckle down,
Yeah.
what then happened is I went over to a new gym.
Hmm.
One, I'm getting like, it's starting to all of the like the physique is starting to happen now. There
Yeah.
was a long time where it was, I could feel it undoing all the tension, so
Mhm.
I looked worse than I did when I
Don't
was doing
forget the
like,
fuel, the food we bring in can be low vibration food or high vibration food.
yes, yes,
So you can morph the body, but because what you eat literally becomes your cells. It
yeah,
literally becomes us. So don't forget, you know, the food that we eat, the poison in our food has an impact on who you are. Because that's literally, you eat the Big Mac, it becomes a part of your rib. It
yeah,
becomes a part of your muscle. It becomes your mind. Do
right.
we want that? No, man.
No. Yeah,
No.
yeah, exactly, right? And now I'm at this new place, right? And
I love Big Macs, but
right. Look, man,
from
it's
time to time, I got you.
what's the word? Uh Balance, right? It's like, it's not that you never fucking
Yeah.
go out and party, or you eat too much, or it's about having a good solid middle of the road discipline that you
Mhm.
can kind of come back to and continue to ride along in, that then allows you to have that fun. If you don't have that like middle of the road disciplines to
Yeah.
start you, you can get like way spun off super easy. But if you have a good discipline, you can eat your food, you can do whatever.
1,000%. I'm all about balance. Sometimes, like I need 8 hours of sleep. Sometimes moments in life call for an all-nighter, and you got to be able to
Exactly.
do it.
Right, and your body's gonna be just fine, right? It'll
You'll
like,
figure it out.
you have plenty of fuel, because day to day you're not treating your car like shit. Like,
Exactly.
you're making sure you're always getting enough in there, right?
Exactly.
And what's ended up happening is now at this, I found I had to go through that one, and then now I'm at this new place, and I found people that what's cool is people will come up to me now, and you still have a few of these motherfuckers just around there, just kind of like skeezing, watching you. I had an
Yeah.
interaction with one of them the other day, but I found people for the first time. There's a woman named Venus. She's a fucking genius woman of love.
Love the name.
Dude, right? Goddess of beauty. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
She named
She good
herself that.
looking? She good looking?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Boom.
Okay. She came up to me and she's like, "Hey, I really love what you're doing. You're moving the chi. You're getting that. You're getting the energy moving. You're doing
Imagine
function.
if you bitched out and you stopped.
Yeah, right,
Hot Venus ain't coming up because you
dude.
bitched out.
Venus.
You became a part of the
Nobody.
fucking. You became a part of the Sith. Fuck
It,
this. Fuck this shit.
that's what I'm saying, bro. And then, you know, there I've started because I've like it eventually is paid off. I've got there's people that I've met there that were curious and that now like they text me for advice on things like this, so it's like because I stuck to my guns even though it sucked. I mean, it fucking there was to get kicked out of a gym was like it fucking stabbed me in the heart, bro. I was like, this is my sanctuary, bro.
Right.
This is where I go to fucking be with myself, with God, with the universe. This is it for me. And you're gonna kick me out of here because there's a couple of low vibration motherfuckers who are so fucking
So
miserable.
preoccupied with you. It's ridiculous. It's like, what the
Man,
fuck are
dude,
we doing here?
like, how could that's what I'm saying, bro.
Right? I'm looking at you. Just go like this. Just
Right, dude.
don't
I
look
don't
at
get it. I'm like, why do you need to look?
me.
Like, there's so many hot
Go
chicks.
look at an ass. Go look at an ass. Why are
Right?
you looking at me?
Why are you looking at my ass, bro?
Yeah, go
Come
look
on,
at her
brother.
ass. It's the
I'm
best in the
like,
gym.
yeah, I'm like, dude, Chadwick, brother, like buy me dinner or something first, brother. Come on now.
Right.
Like there's a way to do these
Stay
things. Like,
focused.
Chad,
Stay
I'm not
focused, bro.
interested in your gender. You
Yeah.
clearly are, but I'm
Yeah.
not, So it's dumb. But those are the people's games that Bob's talking about.
Yes.
Those are the things that you gotta like as an artist, as a person that's awake in a time where everyone's asleep. You're gonna have to deal with it because they
Yes.
they see you and they because you're different. They see you as a nightmare. They see you as evil. Even though not the case. Like I promise you. Like I'm here to fight the true demons in this world. That's my fucking purpose in existence, and I do that through my music. I do that through my plays. I do that through just day to day, everyday living.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you guys think I'm evil just because I
It's
fucking
ridiculous.
do weird
It's
yoga.
beyond ridiculous. And paying them any I don't even want to be a part of your gym. Like
Yeah.
like I could do this at
My
home.
dad was a part of that gym too, and he said he went in there, he looked him in the eyes, and he said, "Hey, I'm leaving your gym. I'm going
Yeah.
to tell every person that I know that they should never come to this gym."
Your dad's
Because
OG,
treated my
dude. That's
son,
that's legit.
dude. My
He's
dad,
like, that's my fucking even if it wasn't my son, just if I'm out. Fuck you.
right? Like what
Fuck
the?
you. Get the fuck out of here.
Another fun little synchronicity though, and this is what helped me. Like when I was like feeling down in the dumps about it, right? And this is probably about
You
5
felt
months.
judged.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
felt
you have to you do a little like, am I right or am I wrong? You
right.
do
Am I
that.
crazy? Like, am
Yeah.
I like just a genuine freak here? Like,
Right.
I'm weird. I get it. I know that, but is there, and then
Don't say weird. I'm abstract.
exactly. So I was at a gym then, or not a gym. I was at like a gas station, right? And I'm walking in and I look up and there's this big dude, that big, beautiful black man that always worked out at the same time I did, right?
Right.
And I mean, I don't, I'm not in there to talk to people, so I never really talked to anybody in the gym or anything. But he's like, "Hey, man, where you been the last week?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Dude, we miss you. Where you at?" And I was like, "Dude, I got kicked out." He's like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, I said, "I cannot go to that gym anymore." He's like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "For what?" And I was like, "What you see." Like,
Yeah.
here's what you get with Trevor, bro. He's like, "That's the fucking craziest shit I've ever heard, bro.
Yeah.
You did nothing. You were chilling.
Exactly.
You were doing fucking
Anybody who
yoga
thinks
shit."
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this guy, guess what his fucking name was?
What?
Buddha.
No
Okay?
shit.
Buddha.
Oh
Right?
my
And
God. Buddha
literally,
and Venus.
Buddha, dude, right? So the next
That's
day
weird.
after that, right? Literally the next day, I ended up going to like I had to go to a different Walmart than I normally would go to. And like I was there like literally like right at like 11 or 10:50. It's about to close. I'm like sprinting down the aisle and I'm about like I can feel myself getting sick, you know. So I'm like running down the aisle. Like it had been like a really rough day. No, I was fasting. That's what it was. I was on like a 20-day fast, right? And
Oh,
I was
geez.
on like day 18 and I was like gonna throw up some water, bro. And so I'm like kind of fucking like moving over to do this, and then I hear, hey, and I'm like, and then I look to the left, it's Buddha.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? How are we? How did we run into each other two times within two evenings on two opposite sides of
Mhm.
fucking of the town, bro? He's like,
Mhm.
I don't know, brother. Must be fate. And I'm like, like Buddha, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like I just would have. There is a real strong negative aspect to being a true artist. Like, don't get it twisted. It's not sunshine and rainbows
No, it
here.
is not. You got to fight. You had to battle, bro.
Yeah, but it's I to any person who's like, should I do it? Should I really make the plunge and become this and let myself be what I need to be? You know, there is the beauty of it far outweighs the negative, bro.
I
When
mean, that painting right behind you, that Van Gogh. I mean, dude, I mean, what people what they miss is it is not, I always say this, it is not abundantly obvious that something should look like that.
right,
Okay,
right,
it is not abundantly obvious until it's done, and
mm,
then people say, "Oh, that's a great piece of art because but it was made and now you get to have that opinion." But before it was even created, what abundantly obvious art
mm,
was something over here.
yep,
So people have to catch up to the new abundantly obvious. So
yeah,
you doing breathing visualization work before you even work out will become abundantly obvious in time.
yep.
And the
I
plight
totally agree with
of
that.
people like us is how far ahead are we? Shakespeare he's still about 400 years ahead.
He sure is, brother.
400 years, 410 years to be exact. 410 years ahead of what he was doing then. Okay.
Man, man.
And if the world would be a worse place if he went in the gym and was like, you know what, Chadwick, you're right. I'm not going to fucking make these plays.
Yeah, I'm done.
We're done.
Right.
So
I want to deal with
it,
that.
it's our job is to battle them, and their job is to battle us.
Now, I love that we brought this up here. This is, I mean, this is one of the greatest things ever made. Now, a lot of people don't know this was painted from inside an insane asylum. Okay,
Wow.
he had like a mental break, and he went to I can't remember what this town is, but he'd gone to this town to get treatment, right? And he was staying. I mean, mental asylums may be like the wrong, but it's a place that you go when you fucking lost it, right?
Right.
And so this is the view from his room in that facility, right? He's in
Wow.
the worst time in his life. He is questioning everything that he's ever known and done, and he painted this. And this is what came out, right? And I mean, this thing, I've stared at this thing for hundreds and hundreds of hours, bro, because there's something that's like you can never quite like get it. Every time you look at it, it looks a little different. And it was
It's
made
you understand what he painted, but that's not a real that's not photorealistic.
right.
That's not real, but it is
Exactly. It's
because
right.
it's an
It's
abs
more real than real. Like
it is.
it's like it's what it looks like almost to our spirit, you
It's
know?
more beautiful than actually if that were a photo.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that say so. There's a great movie if you've never seen this. It's called Hey Dudes, called Loving Vincent. And sorry, my dogs are being fucking ridiculous. Um,
Hey,
but
dudes.
they were so this movie called Loving Vincent, right? So they filmed it like a regular movie, and then for 7 years they had about like 140 artists hand paint every single frame to look in the same style as Vincent van Gogh's paintings, right?
Wow.
And the theory is that that's actually just how he saw the world. Like his mind was so wide, open, and clear that it looked this way to him. That it
Wow.
looked like he'd walk through and it would be like swirling and beautiful. And that's all. And he just painted what he saw, right?
Mhm.
And that's fucking crazy, man. I mean, that uh, Van Gogh is one of those people. I mean, like I've always really heavily identified with that kind of struggle, man, because
Yeah.
it's like, when you read his letters or you look at his paintings, it's like it's this man who's like stranded in a world that he seems to understand better than anybody else, but because he understands it so well, people are persecuting him and
Yeah.
making his life so much harder. And he didn't have any kind of what's the word? Frame of reference for it. He didn't have, I mean, he had Shakespeare, but he didn't have, the entire 1900s, which showed that like a lot of people are weird and different and strange. So there was like really only one way to be, and he wasn't that way.
Yeah.
And instead of just laying
Yeah,
down
but
and
people understand him now.
exactly, and that's what it
That's
is.
a
Like
plight, bro. That's real plight.
it is, man. But you have to like it's crucial that people do make that fight, because one day there will be a world that's good enough for Vincent van Gogh. One day there will be a world that's good enough for Shakespeare. And it
And
will be because
one day there'll be a world good enough for us.
yeah, exactly. And when that day comes, we will all remember them for everything that they did. And they will even in my personal opinion, I think that it's one of those things like where life is not so like A, B, where they just come back, but even if they don't, they're still here with us, and they're still like their ideas are what laid the foundation for everybody else to have a beautiful life.
Yeah.
And if that's not where we're at, if we're not at the crucial point moving into that moment, which is possible, it's always possible,
Always.
then it's okay. If I go down in the fight for decency and creativity and love, that's the highest sacrifice one can make, in my opinion. It's the highest calling a person could have in life.
Mhm.
So be it, and it's easy to say it. It's easy. Like I remember when I was really like young, like 20, like 19, 18, and I'd hear someone like Bob Dylan, or I'd look at Van Gogh, or I'd read Shakespeare and I'd be like, damn, bro, they went through some shit. I bet I feel like I have it in myself to go through that shit, and so you make the choice, right?
Mhm.
But then it's so much different to go through it. It's so much different to be at your fucking gym, just minding your own fucking business, and some idiot named Chadwick comes up and fucks with your day, right? There's and the worst part is that it's so hard to even find to be able to talk about it, to be able to like get into a situation where you can pick apart what happened there and like, be like, oh, that wasn't even my fault,
Yeah.
So it just kind of gets in here, and that's what that's like that tortured artist thing, is like, it's this
Well,
world.
we're being tortured.
right.
Yeah,
We're aware that we're being tortured.
yeah, we're being tortured. And look at it's like Salem witch trials. It's just God knows they were probably drawing pictures and paintings or doing
Right.
things and or
Light women,
yeah, you know what I'm
just
saying?
women.
Beautiful women that were enticing men maybe with a gaze and
Right.
no, kill
Exactly. Or
what?
just learning,
Yeah.
like, have you ever read or watched the Da Vinci Code?
I've seen the first. I need to see it. But I've seen the first. Where he's lashing himself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, go back and watch that movie, bro. So recently, I was in jail for 10 days. I missed a court date for a traffic violation, mind you. Okay. I just forgot about it.
Excessive.
Yes, right. But while I was in there, I went ahead and read Angels and Demons, a Da Vinci Code, and Inferno, right? Dude, that thing, it's got the biggest secret in the entire universe, bro. Like, it's like that, it unveils it as a story. But like when you're reading it, when you're a guy like us,
Hmm.
dude, you're like, and it just it like clicks. Like when you have like once you're at this state of mind that we're in here,
Right.
and you read it, you realize what it's saying. And the secret at the middle is the fucking is the Mary Magdalene, is the divine feminine. It's
Yeah.
the ability to receive, the ability.
A man, it a man, it can only reach the mountaintop when his muse of a woman pushes him.
Yep.
And the quality and the sheer, the level of quality of his woman. When a woman is beautiful and smart, da da da, you have that level of woman. You can either push you up to lead that level of woman, or you fall.
Mm-hmm.
You fall to it and you get on your knees for it. So it's like like female worship and shit like that. You can't you don't need to keep women down in order to have a good society.
Mm-hmm.
You have to let women push you to the heights.
That's a really interesting way to put that.
Yeah.
It's about putting
Mary
down
Magdalene
and
pushed she's pushing you up because
always.
a woman's nature is she's a judge and an admirer.
Mm,
She will either judge you or she will admire you.
mm,
And it is the best you can be as a man is you pick the most quality woman that is going her like I love talking to intellectual, smart, beautiful women because they are looking to be pushed and guided. We
mm-hmm.
are in front, but you if we- if we are intimidated by their ability to retort, if we are intimidated by their own thoughts, then we're not being the leader.
Mm-hmm.
We you have that woman like that the woman has to you don't want if you restrict the woman, you're restricting yourself
Mm-hmm.
because the woman is going to make you the pinnacle
Yeah.
only if you deserve it. Only if and even the most staunch of feminists, man hating, it is their nature when they come across the man that unlocks their code. When they, you know what they do? They become the admirer of you,
Mm.
and then nature gets set. So women push men to be the greatest we can be, and
Yes. I do.
they do. Dude, I'm inspired. Dude, I can look at a woman and like, okay, I need to write.
Yeah, dude, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Wrote,
Like,
like 70 songs just for like random chicks that I met, just
no,
like,
like I'm not right.
oh,
I'm inspired by, and they have they're not equal. They're beautiful. I don't even care. Men and women equal. They are their own thing.
I don't really
Women,
like that word equality. Like, I think
no,
like it's not
women in a lot of ways are better.
right.
Okay,
Right. It's
and
just
men in our
being
own ways are
what you
better.
are,
What is it?
like
What?
it's being what you are, right? It
Yeah.
is like the equality thing is like I understand what the impetus was. Like we wanted to make sure that women weren't stamped on it. Absolutely, we should.
Yeah.
But like now, what's happened is it's like we're trying to like create a playing field and then make it like this. When it's not like that. It's
Men
not
and
like
women need to go. They go like we need to go like this. We
yeah,
have our own thing that we have to do. They have their own thing that they have to do, and like there's things women are capable of doing that men aren't
yeah, for
because
sure.
it's
It's a lot.
innate. I mean,
Mhm.
look at the womb. I mean, it's just a perfect analogy. The womb itself, women's. you- I've never been a woman hater. I just don't like certain personalities.
Yeah, for sure. I
That's
mean,
all
that
it
goes
is.
for
Never.
everybody.
I'm not like, oh, women suck. No, I love women. And
Right.
there's a lot of bullshit men out there like da da da. Like, and
For
I'll
sure.
never be a guy who's like, put women under your thumb and no. My favorite moments are eating food, drinking some wine with my chick.
Right. Those are the best. I mean, top five moments are all that. I love making my music. I love making my work, but it's, the stuff that really sticks with me are times where I've just been in love. And,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like my favorite memory of all time is just like me and this girl. We went down to Oklahoma. We got ourselves a hotel, went and watched a movie and just chilled at the hotel. It was just, and
Got
just
to
sitting
it.
there. like being with her, not even saying anything, just chilling,
Right.
was the best,
Mhm.
because they, if you have a woman that fits you right and you fit her right, like I like what you said about we may be in the front, right? But they're watching our back. If we don't like it's I showed you like the penetrative, shape, the opposite shape, and you're wearing it on your
Yeah.
necklace here is the Jewish star. The Star of David is a representation of like the balance of men and women. Is like, you know, the
Yeah.
problem was saying that up was the right way. That up is good. It both are good and both are
Dude, they're
necessary.
necessary. Dude,
And the problem is,
they're the lock.
mm,
Or either one of us is the lock, one of us is the key. I think we're the lock, they're the key. But in
yeah,
some ways we're the key.
yeah,
That like, dude, we have to have each other.
right.
Okay, like it's
And
just what it
like
is.
to be able to look eye to eye, which again is like, so I would consider myself like a second wave feminist. And for those that are not sure of the three waves, this is how it goes. First wave, women should be able to vote. Pretty simple. They're part of the population, should be able to vote, right?
Well, especially when you have single women who are property owners and
Right,
right
right.
and we have
Women are
and when
just
you
as
live
much
in a
skilled.
democracy, it's like, if you're not a part of a household, right.
Right. They're a citizen, and their ideals should be heard just as much as ours. Because again, it's like a marriage.
Mhm.
Like maybe a dude is in front, but if you don't have your sixth person,
Mhm.
looking at you, checking your back out, then you're
Well,
gonna fucking get shot in
it's
the
not
back.
even it's they're pushing.
Yeah.
They're
Well,
pushing you to
but
go
it's also
faster.
having eyes in the back of your head.
Mhm.
It's like she's covering the shit that you're not paying attention to, right?
Mhm.
And you're covering the shit that she's not paying attention to, right?
Mhm.
And you're moving.
Yeah.
You're a fucking ship that's moving through the fucking sea. And if
Mhm.
you don't have somebody behind your fucking person watching your back,
Mhm.
then you're fucked.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. And second wave feminism was just like, all right, so women can vote.
Mhm.
They probably should be able to work if they really want to. Like
Again,
it was,
and the main thing with that is also the culture at large. Like you're talking, like for instance, with my mom, dude, my mom, if it wouldn't have been able to provide, I would have become an orphan.
right, right. If
So
exactly.
it just makes sense.
The problem comes in wave three, which is where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And of course, there's one of my favorite philosophers, Hegel, says everything comes in threes. It comes in the thesis, the thesis, the antithesis, and the synthesis, right? So there's the idea, right? And then it gets good, like that's cool. So the idea was like maybe women are citizens too, right? Then you have second wave, which is the rise. It's like, oh, dude, this is awesome. We get to have chicks in the office. We get to like talk to each other. We're getting an entire new
Well,
perspective on life.
Shakespeare, they didn't have any female actors.
Right, right, yeah, right. Then that's some crazy shit all on its own, brother.
That
But
was
it
a
is.
bad idea.
He still has like his female characters are some of the greatest female characters of all time.
But I mean, he's not allowed to have female actors because what you think of
Yeah,
it, that's a bad idea.
exactly, exactly. Now, of course, that ended pretty quick, thank God. By the time we were in 1800s, we had female Hamlets and shit. You know what I mean? But you know, so the second wave happens, right? Then we get to the third. Now, the third, antithesis is when all these great ideas suddenly like we realize there's like a bunch of other shit we weren't thinking about, and it all crashes down around.
I
And
gotta
what's
take a
happening
piss.
now?
I gotta take a piss real quick.
Go for it, brother.
I'm not gonna end it, but I am gonna piss. I was just straight pissed. Yeah. All right, we're back.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. God, I love a good piss, bro.
God,
God.
dude, especially I've been drinking tea, and tea just
Oh,
goes through me.
whoop. Yeah, you get
Goes right
caffeine,
through me,
you get
dude.
tea, get anything like that. It goes fucking fast,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, so and that's where we're at now. We're at the
You
third
know,
wave.
women have been taught, and women are getting taught now to honestly hate men, and it's becoming this thing like they have this conversation like a world without men. It's like that. That's
It's just the
that's no
stupidest
different than
patriarchy.
men who exact. I mean, that's toxic. It's
Yeah,
just toxic. You
It's
know,
stupid. I mean, it's
artificial
insane.
womb ideas. Like, come on, man.
Right. It's look, you're never the reality we live in is it's not a binary world, but it's began with 2 points,
It's
right?
analog.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just not it's never going to be that you can get rid of all of the masculine energy, It's just not going to happen. It's
There's
not
nothing
how
wrong with it. Being
right.
masculine is not, it's not a problem.
No.
Uh, yeah, I just don't like how women now, like they've been told that being a woman and being feminine is a problem. It's
Right.
not.
It's like I mean, it's all part of this fucking sick game that the elites are playing.
Yeah.
They want us to be separate from each other. They want to like whether it be friend to friend, man
Population
to woman.
control.
You said what?
Population control.
It's exactly what it is.
If we're fucking and having kids, comes a
That's
problem.
that comes back to the Da Vinci Code, bro. Is there's this idea that women are the reason that women enlightened women have been killed over the years and called witches and things like that is because women have like direct access to the light, right? They are light themselves. They are the creative generative force that makes life,
Hmm.
right? And so women have that direct access. Men don't have that direct access. So
Hmm.
without women, we are not able to tap into the light.
And we see the light. We see their light. We get
Yeah, but we're
inspired by
not
it.
able to get it. We're not able
Mhm.
to like tap in and experience it. It's not until we exchange energy with a woman, and more accurately, when we make love to a woman,
Yeah.
that it comes to us. I can speak from experience on that.
Yeah.
Like, I was a fucking moron. I thought I had shit figured out until I made true love to a woman. And then I
Hmm.
fucking was like, oh, dude, I've got this whole fucking thing wrong. Like,
Hmm.
I'm trying to force everything to be one way, and if I could just get it this way, it'd be okay. And that's not it. What it really is it's trying to remove all the bullshit on you so that you can realize that life is always and will always be exactly perfectly as it is. And
Hmm.
the more that you can realize that, the better your life is going to be, even
Hmm.
if it randomly ends randomly and quickly at the end,
Well, I believe in it. I believe in eternity. I believe
Right, right. It's
so.
this
It'll
is
morph, it'll change, it'll become something, but
I completely agree, and this is a quote from fucking Pineapple Express, but it has always stuck with me, bro.
Mhm.
Fucking Danny McBride's like beating on James Franco, and he goes, "What we do in this life echoes in eternity." It's fucking real, bro. Like what
Yeah.
we do here will echo.
Shakespeare, 400 years later.
Right, right. And I'll tell you, being able to going in there and adapting this, it was one of the most wonderful experiences in my life because it was like sitting in the room with him.
Yeah.
It was like discussing with him and being like, "Yeah, this is when I was young, brother. You don't need that. You don't need that. Just leave that
Right.
out." Like,
No, I think honestly, bro, like I think it's brilliant that I mean when you sent when I you sent it to me and I was just like I was so taken back. I'm like, more people need to understand if someone like him to this day is still like uncovering, working with this material, there is something profound about it.
yep,
And I think it's brilliant that you are taking you're looking at this foundation and then you're adapting it so that people can even they can understand it in the modern context and with different uniforms, different outfits, but the same exact kind of purpose. Maybe you changed it, whatever, but it's like I think that's brilliant, and it needs people need to be aware of that line of thinking and creating.
hmm well, and and this is probably a decent thing to end on here. Is my so that's the whole that's what I'm doing with this thing is I see the genius of Shakespeare, and I've studied it. I've spent years and years studying this shit, right? And I've discovered that there's really only like a couple of things that people are actually struggling with Shakespeare. It obviously the language, but the language when you see a good actor do it, actually you're like it's trippy. You're like, whoa,
Right.
that's still how we talk right now. Like exactly the same, the rhythm of the speech and
Yeah.
things like that. It's perfectly how we speak, even
Mhm.
though it's poetic as shit.
Right.
my goal in creating those four characters that we brought up at the beginning of this is to just give a little glimpse, just take away those couple excuses. And the couple excuses are, one, everybody has like three names, right? So like a character like Richard the Third, right? He's called in the script. He's called the Duke of Gloucester. He's called Richard. He's called Plantagenet. He's called King Richard. He's just called the King. So he gets called all these different names and titles. Now, Shakespeare doesn't like take time to like be like, yeah, that's what's happening here. He's calling him Hampshire now because that's his title, right? What I did is with Elizabeth, she's sending them on a mission. So she introduces everybody at the beginning, what their name is, what their title is, everything they may be called, right? So boom, right out of the way, everybody's going to know what everyone's name is, what everyone's title is, everything that they could be called, right? Dude, they're fucking around. So you get that first one gone, right? And that's a huge portion of it. I swear to God, like you're sitting there and you're following, and then he's like, who the fuck is Hampshire? Like who's that guy? But you're going to have all of that. Now, another one is, we live in America, not in England. And a lot of the places they're talking about, the titles they have, like the Duke of Gloucester, that nobody knows what the fuck Gloucester is, Nobody knows what that shit is, right? So there's a disconnect as far as the geography and having an immediacy to you, right?
Yep.
What I did, this is why I moved it over to America, right? Mm-hmm. And I adapted it so like a dude named Donald the Conqueror, around this time now takes over Mexico and half of Canada. Mm-hmm. And leaves open half of France, half of Canada to become New France, right? Which is pretty possible. Yeah. And then it allows me to rename. Quebec. You said what?
Quebec, Montreal could easily
exactly. Ontario, that little spot. In the lore, France came over, Europe came over to help stop Donald the Conqueror, right? Okay. And they did, right? Yeah. And they left half of Canada, and. Now, because I left that because there's a huge portion of the plays is dealing with fighting France, right? And what this does is now, so the Duke of Gloucester, which is Richard, now he's the Duke of Hampshire, right? So now people know where that is, right? And there's other characters like John of in the original, he's John of Lancaster, right? Where's Lancaster? Lancaster is an incredibly important county, right? What I name him? The Duke of Washington, right? So boom, immediately you're like, oh, it's Washington. Right. Okay. And the third one is
the picture in people's minds.
Exactly. And the third part is the geography, right? Where these things are taking place, people don't fucking have any idea where Hampshire, Gloucester is compared to fucking Lancaster, right? Mm-hmm. But they do know where Virginia is, and they do know where Tennessee is, right? And if you rename those and you put those there, now they understand the immediacy. Dude, this is right next to each other. These two like if there was conflict here, they'd fight. And shit, we've been to fields like this. We've seen these places. This is really where it's at. Mm-hmm. So by creating those characters, we take out most of the and moving it. We take out most of the complaints against Shakespeare. And then the final thing that these characters allow me to accomplish is, since they're people from like not our time but essentially our time, they're speaking in their own language, kind of, right? Now they play along with the play, obviously, but every once in a while they can break out and they can and one of them is Shakespeare. Remember, he's just a regular guy, right? He's like, and he can go, D, what the fuck's happening here? Right? Like, I didn't understand that at all, And then D can comically be like, you idiot, Shakespeare. That's clearly this. And then the audience gets to laugh at Shakespeare, but they were also lost. So now they're back up on it. And if you can take those things out, people can follow the flow. Right. And if you can follow the flow of Shakespeare, I don't need to say a goddamn thing about it. You will feel it. You'll feel it in a way that you've never experienced any other art in your life, because it goes deeper than any other art has ever gone. He soared higher than any other human ever dared to soar,
I
right?
have a question for you. How often is this type of undertaking? Do people adapt Shakespeare's work like this?
Not like this. I'm in.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. This is different. This is new. I mean, even when they
We're
do
pissing people off.
Shakespearean, what
This is
they
pissing people off. You know,
is it?
like what I'm doing is gonna get. Oh man, dude, like Noah, like when I told him all this stuff, he's like, okay, this is cool, but like you're gonna make some people really angry, Trevor.
Good.
And I was like, good, bro. You know, fuck those people.
It's
They
living.
what they
It's
want to let
living.
Shakespeare die. Like it's like
Yeah.
the option we have here is to come to them and reach out and show them what we love about it, or we can let fucking Shakespeare die. Which one you want? Because I don't want to let Shakespeare die. I don't want to let the ideas that broke forth in 1600 die here, right? And
No,
so,
I literally think it's, but I don't know anyone even I don't know of anyone even pursuing to formulate that. And I think that the conversation full circle is a great artist creates something 400 years ago. Over time, the interest, the intrigue in that level of creation goes away because of translation, because of location, because of language. And I think I really do think it's brilliant to see it and say and to get the idea of, because again, it's not abundantly clear like that painting to even do that. Everyone,
right.
I see so many people with Shakespeare, it's like, here it is, do it exactly the way, even when they make the movies, they just
Yeah.
do it of that time. They never interpret, I've never seen it
It
interpolated.
happens. That part happens. It's called high Shakespeare. There's definitely there's a like Richard III had a great adaptation with Ian McClellan.
Okay.
He played Richard III, and it was set in he was like a Nazi essentially. You know,
Okay.
he was like Germany, right?
Okay.
And that part happens.
Okay.
The part that doesn't happen is like when you go in and you put your little like a little bit of thing, a little bit of something in there,
Oh,
right?
but they
Something
stayed
extra.
to the lines.
Yes, they
They don't
stay.
add characters.
No, no.
Okay, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
the
This is
blasphemy. That's
you're on.
why I'm gonna get in trouble with some
No, but you
Shakespeare
know
theory.
what though? You know what? That's what I'm saying. That's what's brilliant about it. And I think it's not abundantly clear to even do that. Yeah, maybe you're taking the step further. It's literally now alive.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I've been like everyone I've told,
and they
everyone I've
have to
told.
compare.
You said
They
what?
have to compare the work now.
Yes,
You had the
yes, they do.
balls. You had got the balls to be like, "Hey, Shakespeare," and that's really what I want to get to. The whole point is to dethrone Shakespeare.
Hmm.
It's like it's competitive. Okay,
Yes,
I
it is.
love your work, but hey, guess what? I'm here,
And I'm better than you, motherfucker.
and guess what? If and his spirit would be like, boom, 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 boom. Let me. That's the whole point.
Right. He wants us to drive further than him. Like
Yes.
he's pissed that it hasn't driven further. If you're really familiar with his work, he's very annoyed with the existence that he's stuck in, right? And I think he'd be annoyed now, still annoyed, right? So
Come lift this weight. Come lift this weight.
that's what he's begging. He's saying, "Come
Yes.
on, guys, we all got to pull." And that's what I'm trying to accomplish here. Is I'm trying to I'm trying like a lot of people know how amazing Shakespeare is, but not a lot of people like there's a whole lot of people who have never, because of bad teaching, bad education system, where they were just like
The
thrown
barbarian.
information. Yes, exactly. Where they don't have any sort of frame of context in which they could have a chance to understand this. And
Mhm.
it's really not actually that hard. It's like it's once you have like the key into there,
Mhm.
it's not that hard. And that all I did with this was to give the key. Right. Now, obviously I mean, if people are very familiar with the work, like especially the second trilogy is like way different. Like it's the same story.
How long does it take you to adapt something like that?
I've been
What
working
was the idea? What was the initial idea?
so the first the idea of what I'm working with now and what I'll be working with for quite a while is when I first got down here, I was like traveling around all these really beautiful parks and stuff like that. And I was reading Don Quixote, right? Which if you've never read Don Quixote, jump on that shit. It's like the Matrix written in 1615. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's so nuts. So I was reading it And then I don't remember like where how it actually struck me, but then I was like, wait a minute, you what if because there's Shakespeare in the park, right? But like I was like, well, what if like I made plays that like occurred in a park and
Mhm.
like then put it in the perfect park so that the like there's no sets except nature itself, right?
Right.
And so that I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. What could I do that with? And then I was like, I could do it with Don Quixote. And so I
Mhm.
started typing up, and I've gotten at it. That Don Quixote's coming. That's like one of the. That's probably 2 seasons away when I'm going to be doing my adaptation I did of Don Quixote. But I was like, okay, I was kind of starting to move it, starting to like be like, okay, how would I accomplish this? There's so many different. We'd almost be doing this every like couple of weeks. Like, how am I going to accomplish this? And
Mhm.
then and then I was like, one day I was watching this. There's people don't do what I'm doing here, the Shakespeare's histories very often because it's the original is 8 plays and they're meant to be played as like, you watch one, the next day you watch another one, another. So that's a big commitment, So it's very, very rarely done, but it has been done on it's been done as a TV show called The Hollow Crown, right? And so this is all floating around in my head, and then I'm watching The Hollow Crown, and I'm like, wait a minute, I could do this. This this gives people a familiar face that they can then follow me through to the next one,
Right.
right? And I was like, I could do fucking Shakespeare's histories in the park because like almost the whole thing occurs outside because it's like a giant battle for like fucking it's 8 plays originally, and I was like, okay, fuck yeah, look, let's do this. So then I start reading through it like, and I read through the series probably like 50 times, and just like listened and listened and listened and listened and listened. And then I started getting the idea about like the D and the Shakespeare thing. And then Noah really helped me develop the Shakespeare and D idea. Like I was like, dude, what if we did like a Shakespeare for Dummies character, And then like we started pitching with each other, and it ended up coming out as the Shakespeare and D thing.
Mhm.
And then I was like, oh, dude. And once I had that, it was off to the races, man. But it's been about 6 months of like, I mean, many days where I'd wake up at 7 and I would go to bed at 12 doing the same thing, which is, you know, to be able, because like the second trilogy in particular is rather so Henry the Sixth Part 1, 2, and 3 were his first plays, like his first plays out of the gate, right? So he's like, this is before he ever got to anything big, right? But he had started writing a couple of plays, and there's a lot of fluff in them, right? It's 3 plays. There's a lot of shit in there that's kind of like, like just a little like, why is this here? Like, this doesn't serve a purpose, right? He was developing, but they take place in the context of later on. He then went and did his second he did it like Star Wars style, where he did like Henry the Sixth and Richard the Third, and then he went back and he did Richard the Second, Henry the Fourth, Part 1 and 2, and then Henry the Fifth, right? And so you have this like beautiful story with like right where you need it to be really good, it's like meh, right? And so the biggest task was to take that and find a good story, like find the good stuff and move through it, right? And so that one took me a long time, but I think, and I told Noah this, as we were working on it, I was like, look, anyone can do a good Richard II. Anyone can do a good Henry V. Anyone can do a good Richard III. What's going to define this is how good our Henry VI Part 1 and 2 are, which then I renamed eventually to Joan of Arc and Edward IV. And and the combination of the characters and just like, I mean, like I said, it was like Shakespeare was in the room with me at times where he's like, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, put this thing that happens here, put it up here, and just kind of cycling it around and putting it in there, and then using the what little like gaps in what's the word, in like in storytelling were filled in by those few characters and just a few simple moments. So over the last six months, that's what I'm doing. And where I'm at right now is I'm like, I'm going to the parks, and I have my first choice for all the parks. but I have to get like my second and third just in case it doesn't work out. And then in March is when the first one happens. So we're like
How many
it's
you got all the actors and everything?
we've got most of them. We're gonna be doing like a casting call like the first week of
I know
February.
you sent the script to me. I'm gonna be in Fort Lauderdale
Oh,
um in mid to late April. So
hell.
that's when I'm gonna be.
Well, bro, what's great is so the in April we're doing Henry the Fourth, and then in which I again that was another one I squished into one, and then we're gonna be doing Henry the Fifth. And dude, Henry the Fifth is fun. Right, I've played Henry the Fifth before, and that's so. But what's cool, and that was actually one of the big impetuses as well. Is like I've always wanted to like I love Henry V. Like he's one of my favorite characters I ever played. But he actually has a two play arc because in Henry IV, he's the prince, right? And at the time, he was just getting drunk, fucking around with his buddies. A guy named Falstaff is one of Shakespeare's great characters. And they were and he's like this old fat guy who's getting drunk all the time, and they're just joking and having a good ass time, right? Never got to do that, but I always wanted to. I wanted to take him through. I wanted to because it's such a fascinating character arc. Like Henry V's a great play, but if you don't have Henry IV to show why he's such a fascinating king, like you don't have any of the fun, and that's what made me get dedicated to doing the whole thing. It's just like, all right, like if you take it all the way through, it's fat. And the same thing with Richard III, right? Richard III is one of the greatest characters Shakespeare ever made, right? I mean, he's a real guy, but he shows up in Henry VI, and you see, and if you don't get to see the slow descent into the horror that he becomes, it's a lot less like emotionally impactful, right?
Yep.
And how the cut we went with is so Lucas is going to be playing Richard III,
Mhm.
and Noah is going to be playing his brother Edward IV, right? Who Richard III betrays and kills at the beginning of.
I love that all three of you are like so lockstep still in.
Dude,
Can I
I
tell you something real
couldn't do
quick,
it
bro?
without him.
Can I
You said
tell you
what?
something?
Go for
Can
it.
I tell you something?
Go for it.
So I wrote two movie scripts. One's
Okay.
called Hot Thing. Another one was called Benny Honey. You'll love them both. Okay.
Okay.
When I see you in Tennessee, we'll read through them. And I'm
Good.
telling you, you're gonna be like, this
Fuck yeah,
motherfucker can. I make Italian movies, bro. Okay.
bro.
I'm on my Coppola. I just that's just my it comes out. You'll be like, I get it. You know.
Yeah.
And I respect. You have that English tradition. So
Mm-hmm.
and that's why you're so gravitated towards. But I make that kind of stuff anyway. But so, and then I was like, man, I want to write a da da. I wrote a something called A Dream Called Camino. That's my third one.
That's cool as fuck.
A Dream Called Camino. And I'm dead serious. I used you, Lucas, and Noah as a template for the beginning of the story. It's a story about a man who is called on a journey for his destiny. He's an actor.
Okay.
He leaves his home to go to Hollywood to LA to go find a. Oh my. Oh, anyway, but I'm just letting you know. I literally, and when we read the script, Trevor is you, Lucas is Lucas is Lucas, and Noah is. I'm being for real, bro.
That's fucking awesome.
And I don't want it. No, everybody, because I know you and we grew up together. It's like you have to get past that. But I literally wrote a script, and you all are endearing. It's not like it, but it's very endearing. Like I was so inspired. I don't know. I just went with it. Inspiration. I
Oh,
was
you
like,
do,
fuck
bro.
it. I really
That's all
did. But
you do.
I wrote what I understood of my time being around your family, your mother, your father, your siblings being around you. And it was I told the beginning opening is like you got this creative family. I remember I went to you guys' apartment one time, and you guys were all living together or da da da, and
Yeah,
doing a little shroom, smoking a little weed, like
I
all of that.
remember
Like
that.
my experiences with you guys is in there, and it's very endearing. And you'll read it, and you'll be like, man, like this is how someone views our family, and it's really cool. Like and it's
I
genuine and
can't
true.
wait. I can't
I'm,
wait to read that.
but the reason I bring that up is I can't remember why I brought that up. But you were, just what you wrote, and oh, that's why your siblings. I love that all you and your brothers are like all compadres in this craft. I just think that's such a like, dude. Don't forget, like that is a huge advantage, bro.
Dude, trust me, I know,
It's a
bro.
huge advantage.
You have no, dude, I wouldn't be able to do this. I would not have been able to complete this thing if it wasn't like, if it wasn't for just just knowing that they're there, but
Mhm.
also like I mean, just being able to go talk to them. Like this is my baby, but they're the baby's uncles. So I could go to them. And like I said, like Noah helped me come up with one of the best parts about this thing. Lucas, like I mean, Lucas has always just hit me with good shit. Like he'll come out and be like, "Hey, what about this?" And then Lucas is a killer on stage, bro. I mean, that dude is fucking unbelievable, right? So knowing that like anything I'm gonna throw at him with Richard II and Edward IV, he's gonna fucking rip that shit up, Just knowing, having that full faith that I'd have that, and then it's one of those things where it's like sometimes inspirations are so profound, like because it's like, this could like I'm like my group is the only group of people that could really do this right,
Yeah.
because it's all about family, right?
Mhm.
Every character in like Richard II is Henry IV's cousin, right? Henry V is Henry IV's son, and guess who's playing Henry IV when he's older?
Mhm.
A father.
Right.
Okay, I actually got him to agree to be Henry IV, right?
Are you serious?
Noah's playing the young version of him, right?
Yeah, I
So,
love that, man. I love that your dad. I mean, that's just cool shit, bro.
dude, that's
That's
what
it's
I trust
special.
me. Yeah, I know.
It's special.
I know how like
How is he? How is he memorizing shit?
dude, he's great. Like he wanted to be. Look, it's like I think I'm living out my dad's like
Dude,
other.
I wrote that in my script.
No, for real, for real.
Dude, I didn't even know that. There's a part in the beginning, kind of the exposition, where it's like where the Lucas.
Hmm.
Lucas is okay. I'll keep this quick because but I don't want to bore. I'm not. It's not boring. It's amazing. But you guys, it opens up and okay, this is crazy. This is getting synchronicity. This is getting weird. Okay, it opens up with you guys finishing a Shakespearean play.
What the fuck?
I am not joking.
You're
It opens
fucking.
up with you guys are the final lines of a Shakespearean play. You go to the backstage. Lucas is getting his stuff done, and Noah comes up to him and he's like, "Man, this is so great." Da da da. And Lucas is like, "Ah, man, like we're the biggest show in town, whatever, blah blah blah." And he's like, "Dude, you killed it. Like, don't be so negative." Anyway, and then he says, "Are you're meeting us at the after every play, every show, blah blah blah." And guess what? You guys are known in the thing. You guys are known as the acting troupe where you're at. Like you have all the respect of the community. Um, but Lucas is like, I, he wants more, but he's kind of afraid to get more. He to whatever. So you go to I don't know if that I just went with my muse. Then you guys have an after party little thing at a diner and da 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 and you have a conversation with Lucas and Noah has a conversation with Lucas and two of the women that Lucas knows in the acting troupe, they have a conversation and they keep telling him, go with your destiny, go with the destiny. You got to go to LA. You got to go to LA, da da da. And he's like, I don't know, blah blah blah. He eventually there's a gift that your family gives to Lucas for his performance in the play that you all chipped in. You get him a James Dean leather jacket. Okay. Right, you get him a James Dean leather jacket as blah blah blah, and he accepts it, and he's like, well, and then Lucas goes to your mother and father's home, and he has a conversation with mom, and da da da, and Lucas wants to thank his father for whatever, so then he has a conversation with him, and then but Lucas is kind of tormented by like everyone is pushing him, destiny is calling him, you have to do this, it's a dream called Camino, a dream called journey, because Camino means journey. So it's like everyone's pushing, right? Everyone's pushing Lucas, like everyone. He can't evade it. Everyone's talking to him about it. He can't get over it. Like he can't escape it. He eventually goes to his father, which he thinks that his father is he's a worker. He devoted his life to his family and he sacrificed and he gave everything to his kids, whatever. So Lucas thinks he has this vibe that his father doesn't necessarily accept him about, what he does. And so he has this heart-to-heart conversation with his dad, and he's thinking his dad's gonna co-sign him not going. He's like,
Okay.
because of his person, and in the conversation, he gets the go-ahead. Like his dad's like, no, you need to go. I am full-fledged behind you going on this. You need to go to LA. You need to show the world what you got. Da da da. And so Lucas is like, fuck, you too. Like now the one person I needed on my side to be like, no, don't do it, is now also joining in. He's like, fuck. You guys go. He goes to his apartment afterwards. He does some drugs. He has a revelation. Boom. The next day, he's on his fucking journey. But the whole thing is a kind of like it was inspired by me knowing you guys, and I just went with it. I could change the name, but whatever. I just like I respect the and hearing now that your dad is like what I knew of your dad. He was a chiropractor, worker, fucking provided for all these kids, and that to have your dad, who that type of guy involved in what you're doing, is so fucking cool, bro.
Dude, for
Like,
real.
and
Can
it's
you give me
weird
like
that I wrote a
give me
script.
2 seconds, bro? Just like
Yeah,
my Lucas just called me, bro. Like right now. Like as we were doing that, if you could hear a phone going, that was Lucas. I need to like call him back.
I
Just two
got you.
seconds. He texted me I'm supposed to be at work, but I got stuff to do tonight. I can't do
Yeah,
that. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be back.
I got you.
Bet.
Just send me a text.
Like and like it like popped up on my fucking screen that Lucas was
Dude,
calling. It's like,
this is destiny. This whole thing is destiny, bro.
yeah, dude. Oh,
I
that
don't
was
play around with that. Shit's real, dude.
man. I'm gonna take a moment there. That is man, I want you to keep going on your movie because that sounds fucking awesome.
Dude, and
Like, a little
bro, I'm
distracting.
gonna see you in Tennessee if you would let me, because I gotta drive.
Dude, yeah.
I'm gonna drive, and on my way, I might even stop and stay with you guys. That I might just do it.
My parents have two completely open bedrooms with like very comfortable beds and shit. So you wouldn't even have to stay in a hotel or anything like that. You could stay comfortably
I can
in my
stay and I'll
parents' house.
sit on a fucking futon, bro.
Well, we got those too. You could
Yeah.
come directly over here and fucking chill,
But
man.
yeah, and
We'd love to have you
bro,
back.
you'll read the script. You know, when it gets out there, okay, when the movie's made, okay, and everyone's listening, blah blah blah. You guys are gonna see it way different than everybody else. And like I remember when I was writing, I was just like, man, like I know they'll think this is cool, but this is so close to home. And you'll read it and you'll be like, wow, this is what, especially that, first 20-25 pages, that basically exposition setting up the first whatever. Like you'll read, you're like, wow, we really are those people. We are we are
Okay.
those artists. That's how this person saw us. I was telling the story I saw of you guys. I was
And
telling the story I thought of your family. Your lines, like the shit I wrote for you, is so you. It's literally your personality. Like you guys are these awesome characters of people. I was just like, these people are so cool. And I don't know what I was watching I was watching Apocalypse Now.
okay.
And I was like, which I was like, let me write a script that's inspired by Apocalypse Now and Coppola. And then I was like, and then James Dean and Marlon Brando. And I was just thinking, blah, blah, blah. And then I just started writing the script. And I was like, okay, I want to do some sort of Heart of Darkness thing. Like, guy goes on a journey. And then I ditched the like genius apocalypse now thing, but I kept the journey. So I'm okay. I'm keep this about a journey. And then I was like, I want to make it meta. So I was like an actor and boom, 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 boom. We'll read the script. We'll read the
Dude, I'm
script
in,
with
bro.
you, and you'll
I'm
be
in.
like, you'll appreciate like, dude, this is honestly like a really cool way to tell a story. It just because the where it ends and it's just but I just want to like I was so it's just divine, bro. I was just like, dude, I'm inspired by these people, these actors I grew up with because I'm not an actor.
Hmm.
I'm not an actor. I can act, but I'm not an actor.
Right.
Okay.
I get
Like
what
I
you mean.
don't have that. I'm a much better musician than I am an actor. I'm okay with that. I'm
Right.
all
That's
right.
fine.
I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna cry myself to sleep. I can't even cry. I don't cry. Like
Not
like I bet
about
you
this
could cry
anyway.
on what?
Not about this anyway.
Yeah, like I mean in pain maybe, but even then I just get mad. Like
Yeah.
I'm definitely more archetypal, like more a little bit more masculine way to express my emotion, just as what it is. But like I know my limitations. I bet you could cry on command. I bet you and your brothers could. Like you're that level. Like you can really lose yourself. I can't. I'm too like
You.
there's certain shit like acting, like I would totally act and I'm going to act, but I'm just like there's certain shit I gotta say no, I just can't do it. I'm not that gifted. I'm not that gifted. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, that's. I mean, what's cool is, as a director and a producer mindset,
Mhm.
I like to get several pros. And luckily with me, I already have a wealth of pros at my fingertips with my brothers.
Right.
And I fill out like some other pros as well that I meet. But then I like to have like a bunch of characters in there, like four or five of the decently large characters,
Right.
just people that I knew that person is just like thinking about their personality,
Mhm.
multiplying that times the script that I've read and know,
Right.
and knowing what that cross is going to do and how
Right.
that's going to end up being.
Mhm.
Like, I love casting like that. Like I cast it in Faustus, which was one of the
Like
first
if
times.
you casted me in a role that is like something that I like is me, I can do it all day. Like it's not acting. Like I understand what Brando when he says like everyone's an actor. I get that. I just there's just certain roles I can't play. And it's a
Mm,
lot of roles. 95% of roles that people write into story I can't write. So like my first two movies, my scripts that will be, I'm putting it out there, it's gonna happen. But my first two are I wrote characters based off of myself in different forms. And then
mhm.
the third one was like, I don't even want to be in this third script. What if I was like, what if I wrote a script where I don't even want to be in it? I just want to write a script, characters, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah,
like,
I totally get you.
so if I were to be a part of a play you're doing, I would. The only thing I would tell you is, bro, like I literally I'm incapable of playing a role that isn't similar to me, but if it is similar to me, I can do it in spades because I'm
Mm.
not acting. As soon as it's like something that isn't me, I just now I'm acting and now it's a problem. But you guys can act. Like you guys could fully act. You could become something you're not. I can't do that. And I think that's a gift of acting. That's a true actor. I'm just a guy who can I could okay, you're playing Tony action. I can do that all day. Like, and
I
I
can do
wouldn't
so
get
great.
awkward or weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people like I'm that level of actor, like level one. I can do that. Outside of that,
You can do a lot with level one actors, bro. I mean, look at Seth Rogen, brother. Seth
right?
Rogen is one of the most successful actors of all time, and he
Level
fucking
one.
plays himself. Like
Exactly. I can do that all day. I
right.
can do
And
that all day.
that's just different. Like there are character actors, which are people that can be anything, and then there's people
Daniel Day
that
Lewis.
have a very interesting personality. Like
Mhm.
and you just and that's what they're the cast that I have so far is all my people that I'm like multiplying.
Right.
Like some of them have never acted, some of them have never even really done any sort of performing. But I'm just like my guy that's playing Will Shakespeare.
Hmm.
Like I had a different dude sort of in mind to do it. And I talked to him, and I was like, "Oh no, dude, I would never get on stage, bro. That's not for me." And I was like, "Okay, okay." And so then I was kind of like the next day, I was just kind of like, "Man, who am I going to get to play this?" And then I looked over to my buddy,
Hmm.
and we were having this good conversation. His name is actually Will, and he looks like William. The picture of Will Shakespeare,
Hmm.
the William Shakespeare, that
Yeah.
picture that everyone knows,
Hmm.
identical, but like with his full head of hair, like identical.
Hmm.
So and I looked over, I was like, "Well, would you ever do like a play?" He's like, "Well, I mean." I pretty much act here,
Mhm.
so I think I would do that. It's like, Will, let me get you in a play, brother. And he's like,
Right.
for real? And he's like,
Let me
I'm like,
get you in a
Dad.
play, brother.
he goes, okay, and so then it just developed to where he like it. What's interesting is there's people out there that are very interested in being creative that like don't really have the boldness. And what when a guy like me comes in is I'm bold as fuck, and I'm
Mhm.
willing to be like, I'm so bold, no one's gonna notice or get freaked out that you're being bold. You're gonna be
Exactly.
sitting in the bowl in Trevor's bold bowl, okay?
Right.
You're fine,
That's
and
that's
it gives
leadership. That's leadership.
exactly. And so now I picked him. I got my buddy named
You're
Alec.
getting
Those
your dad in it. He's not an actor, for all I know.
exactly.
He is
Well,
now.
but see, and that brings us back to what we were talking about just before we went on the talked about your movie. There is that is my dad. His calling was to do natural health medicine, and
Yeah.
I think he's changed the world a little bit with that.
Mhm.
I think the dudes that
I
he
love people who are natural health medicine people. That's my
he's the
shit.
first fucking defense against big pharma, bro, and he
I
knows it,
fucking love
and he's
it.
a
I respect
bad
the shit
motherfucker.
out of your dad. Like he's speaking the. I'm
He's
like sit.
that
I'm
guy's a
gonna sit
wizard,
down,
bro.
shut up, and learn from this mother. I love it.
Anytime, bro. And he's a great listener too, which is even better. Is like he's not arrogant. He's just like he's there to fucking get his thing,
Mhm.
But how I actually got involved in acting. My dad loves acting. Like he
Mhm.
loved like back his favorite movie and the first movie he showed my mom, Godfather. Okay,
Okay,
so
respect,
yeah,
respect.
he loves it. He loves the shit. But it's like his calling was in medicine, But he like throughout my life, there have been multiple times where like the first ever thing I did was like a little church like skit with him. I was playing like I was like a kid trying to get good at football and he was trying to help me. And we got to have that. And then years later, there was another thing at church that we got to do together. And
Mhm.
I realized that he always like there was a part of his soul that really wanted to be an actor, like really wanted to be a performer, but it just
This is
wasn't.
so wild, bro, that you're
Dude,
saying
it's so
that.
trippy. And
Because of
then
the script. I'm just saying because of script. Because I know nothing
oh,
about this.
oh man,
It's not,
fucking divine, brother,
it's weird.
man. So then like to the fact that then I got to like I mean he told me when I did Henry V. Oh man, so trippy. First time I did Henry V, he came and saw it and he came to me. He's like, Trevor, I cried, man. I was
Wow.
like, and he's like I'm fucking proud of you.
Mhm.
You saw this vision and you went for it, man. You went
Mhm.
for it and you did not let anyone tell you otherwise. And this performance tonight, you fucking smashed the roof in and everyone knows it.
Mhm.
And the fact that now the universe has given me a chance to let him have that moment, to let
Mhm.
him have to be because it's like he's done stuff before, but like
Mhm.
he's never got to be that character, the
Right.
big time character, right? And now he gets to not only do that, but he gets to actually in the thing be my real father. And we
Mhm.
have these beautiful emotional scenes together where,
That's amazing,
you know,
dude.
he's a responsible, the character, Henry IV, responsible, hardworking man of the people.
Mhm.
Everyone loves this man. And then his son is this like crazy partying wild dude and
Right.
he thinks that he's lost all chance of connecting with his son. He's moved on to his younger son, John of Washington, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, I'm just going to give the kingship to him instead of Henry, right? And then he's secretly, Henry has always, like, he was doing the partying for like a purpose. Like he thought, in his vision, he's like, if I'm going to be the king, I got to know the people. I got to like really true.
Capital. Capital.
So, so his, if he's going to, if he's going to lead, he has to like truly know his people, right? And his dad doesn't like quite understand that vision, right? So he's kind of given up on him. So then you get these like beautiful scenes, which are like the climax of Henry IV, because Henry IV is really about the relationship between Henry and Henry, right?
Right.
Get these moments where Henry's like, Dad, no, like you don't understand. Like everything I've done has been to try and be worthy of being your son. You know,
Right.
like
Ugh.
to be good enough
And
to
this
your
is
son.
Shakespeare's work.
This is Shakespeare's
And
work.
it's and it to this day, 400 years later, and you're adapting it and you're putting your own brilliance on it. But I just, bro, come on, it's amazing. Your
And it's
father, you get to act out your own reality in the form of a play that you're already living. But I mean,
yeah, dude, it's trippy as fuck, bro. It's so weird.
crazy.
Like it's just fat. Like I mean, I don't know. It was one of those things where like once you bet on yourself, life becomes a lot trippier, because like people tell you, like try to convince you that power is outside of you, right? But it's here, and if that's true,
Mhm.
that means that we could theoretically do anything, and that goes back to the there's a will, there's a way thing we talked about,
1000%.
I feel that, and so I bet on my ability to make something like this happen, right?
Mhm.
And I've been betting on myself for 20 years, and now the time has come for me to show everybody what I got. And somehow the
Bro,
universe,
Shakespeare wasn't nothing till in his 30s.
that's right.
It's
That
what it is. I'm just being real.
mhm,
Imagine time isn't even a real thing. We're here to experience, learn, grow, develop, and you just take life by the balls. You
it
don't worry
couldn't
about
have happened any
shit.
other
You don't
time.
worry about shit. You don't when you're time to run, you show up, you run that fucking race, and you go win that gold. Whenever your heat is called, you've been waiting
Mhm.
for your heat.
Right.
Now your heat's getting called. You're ready to fucking go.
Mhm.
And you know what's so crazy is I watched this little thing about Shakespeare, bro. He's doing what you're doing. He did what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like he started what the Globe
hmm
did all this, dude.
His own theater.
Dude, just do what you're doing. Just keep
Man.
it. Don't keep not listening to nobody. You have no idea where shit's taking you, bro.
No, and they don't, and that was a big thing for me is I had to get the ego off of like, that I'm the fucking man and I'm, I know everything and I can just, rely completely on my thoughts. I had to extricate that, but then I had to learn how to refine into like it not being about that, it being about like truly trusting the process, not just here, but like everything,
Yeah.
right? And once I did that, that's when it just started to move, and it's like when you get in line with the divine will, like you finally start to feel it kind of unfold, and it's more like a discovery, and it is, like I'm fully aware of that I'm following in this man's footsteps, that like I read
And
about the
someone will
globe.
follow in yours.
That right, right, and that's what's man. That's why we do this, man. We do this. If all of this work means only one person wakes up and sees the beauty of life, I did my job, brother. I
Yeah.
did exactly what I did. I don't need this to be successful. I don't need this to be anything, and that's true. Because I found a way to like I'm doing Shakespeare play, so I don't have to pay anybody to do the play. Right? It's in the public domain. I'm doing it in the park, so there may be a small fee that the park has me like kick back to them, but that's out of the profits anyway.
Mhm.
I found a way to where essentially like I drop shit pay the actors, right? Where it's like they can go out and they can sell the different levels of the Patreon, right? And they keep 60% of whatever they sell.
Are you reporting it?
We're I'm
It's That's kind of a debate because it's a
my
live performance thing. You want people to be
so
there in the
let me
flesh.
just tell you my thought on it. So what I want to do with this stuff eventually is I want to litter the parks with like hundreds of small cameras, and microphones, so that it's like you could make a movie out of it, right?
Wow,
And my
interesting.
goal is to get, and this is definitely a goal. It's not a dream at this point. I have friends in the industry that are, that have ins into like Netflix and stuff like that. I just have to be able to show Netflix why betting on me would be a good idea, right? So I might film this one, but the goal is to turn this into a Netflix series. That's like I'm auditioning to do that
Mhm.
with this whole thing, and then after that, like the goal is to like merge the two together. Is that you know
I think, and I'll tell you this, I think maybe it could be bigger than a Netflix deal.
I will see, and that's
You don't say no. I'm just saying.
right. Like I'm looking at this as like I'm like okay, I'm gonna go out here with this with my ideas here,
Dude, you
and
could be, bro. Here's it. Your your brother, you, both your brothers, all three of you, you have the talent, the repertoire, the knowledge, the appreciation, the everything to be in movies, to be in plays. Dude, you're doing the hardest type of acting, okay, known to man, the realist in the moment. Don't
yeah,
even no. So like we live in a time now, bro, where the foundation of like where talent, dude, I love LA, I love Hollywood, but like it's not the industry killed itself.
mhm,
And there's going to be new hubs and new you are the talent. You are on the level. It's just a matter of time of when the Queen Elizabeth comes with the blank check. So just
that's
keep
right,
doing what you're doing, bro. I mean, it's
right.
not even a debate. It's not a debate on like, am I on the level? You're on the level. It's just wait for nature to put you in position so that you can be a part of the repertoire. Like you don't know shit about like the great actors in India,
Right,
but there are like if you they could be walking down the street, you wouldn't know them for shit,
right. But
but
if they walked in India,
they're,
woo,
you know what I'm saying. So it's
right,
like,
right.
so talent is one of those things that until there's a light shined on it, like it doesn't exist. Bullshit. It's like when the light shines on it, you're ready. You're gonna
Mhm.
be ready. You brother, you, but all three, you're all gonna be ready, and you just keep going, and the spotlight's gonna hit you, bro. And then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I knew like they were the acting people." Dude, you've lived the real shit. You're the real deal. Just wait for your limelight, and it'll be in the perfect time.
Mhm.
You know God, divine beauty, love. God is gonna put that spotlight on you at the right time. Just stay on the stage.
Right. Don't force it. None of that shit. Well, and I think, I mean, what I'm seizing on with this is I think we're getting to a point where with AI where people are going to start to seek out the more like the direct and real, right? I think we're going to see a
Yeah, you're ahead of the
strong
ball.
swing back to play to plays,
1,000%. I
and
totally
then
can see that.
right, and then I'm thinking, you add in the total immersion element, which is like, you're like on the set there with them, and eventually as as it becomes like essentially a set, where we've lined the entire forest with cameras, like that's part of the fun and that's part of like being at it, is like you get to say that I was one of the people that bought in and I experienced this thing and I got to like there's only 150 slots open to come see this thing, to each play, and there's an exclusivity and an immediacy about it.
Mhm.
And when you see it, anything could happen. And I think that flip back is coming, like,
Yes.
and
And the
I'm just sitting here
reverberation.
making exactly. I'm making my aim and my like I can see the home run ball coming at me, and I'm like, all right, it's time to fucking smack this motherfucker out of the park,
It's,
and that's what
it's coming. It's
I aim to
coming.
do, brother.
It's
I
coming.
think we got something here, man, and
You do.
I'm excited to. I
And the
just like
more I learn about it, the more we talk about it, I'm like, dude, like it just makes there's a divine inspiration behind it, and it's all in the right time. I mean,
yeah,
like I said, like I've known people that they live their whole life looking for goalposts based off of age, and it's like maybe they were a year late here or a year ahead there. It's like just quit, throw that shit out. Just focus on the material life that you have. Just that's all you can do. That's
for
all
real.
you can do. I
Don't compare
mean,
yourself to other people. It just
Dude,
doesn't
like
do any
live
good.
your life, bro. And then you're like, well, Shakespeare had 32. That was his first. Like, dude, maybe you did it before. Maybe you did it after. Like,
Right.
should Shakespeare have quit at 32 or should he have waited till boom? It's
Right.
just, dude, just live it. Live it.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
guess what? And the more you live it, if the less fear and the more trudging and the more fighting and the more you go through it, guess what? You'll only be better when that spotlight hits you. So it's a matter of when the spotlight hits you, how good you're gonna be.
Yep. That's
That's
right.
it. Because
That's
it's
right,
gonna
brother.
come. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of when. And
Exactly,
how good
brother.
do you want to be when that fucking spotlight really hits you? Are you prep
I want
for
the
it? This is not a, this
motherfucking
is
best.
Yes, I'm the
I have
shit.
a
And you know
strong
what?
desire for
You know what?
greatness,
You three are the real fucking deal. You
man.
are. You're the real
Well,
deal.
fucking
You're
peace.
actors through and through. Every actor should have the same love and appreciation and understanding of the craft that you guys, because you guys do the hardest shit. There's no cut. There's no
Let me go back.
look at Brando. He had fucking cue cards, bro. Like you guys do
Right.
the I'm just being real. You guys are the real deal. So you're doing the hardest shit that even people who make Tom Cruise isn't doing.
Right.
He's
Bruce Willis
not.
tried and he fucked it up like badly, like,
Yeah.
and that's a fucking I mean that's Bruce Willis, bro. That was the biggest star in Hollywood for a while.
Yeah.
You know? So it's
And I saw when I saw that horror movie that you were in, I
mhm.
immediately it's a fun little movie, but I can I have a gift for I can see things in people. And your present you had a presence on camera that I'm like, that's a natural. That's just a natural actor. Like even in that, quirky little horror comedy little film, I'm like there, but I can see. I'm
Mm.
like I can see the talent. I can see the naturalness. This person's not, you know, isn't this character's not aware he's being filmed.
Yeah.
I can tell.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a good
I'm like,
way. That's
that's
like a
real. That's an
flyable way.
actor. Yeah,
Mm.
this person isn't like, okay, I'm acting. It was like, no, like this person's I'm in the world with this one right here. I know
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And I've always seen, bro, like, it's like people who are starting a fucking business, entrepreneur, whatever. It's like so many people like, and that's just the act of contrition, bro. Like if you're the real deal, you don't quit. The non-real deals quit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
What's
that's just the nature of the beast.
there's a I always got told when I was in college, I had several teachers, some of which I loved, some of which I didn't.
Okay.
But they kind of felt the same way when they I'd be up there acting and they'd be like, "Look, man, you got what it takes. Like you can do this. Like I'm not telling this to this guy, and this guy. Okay, like you can go out there and do this, but like you have to be sure that there is nothing else that you would rather that you could see yourself doing with your life.
Right.
You have to, because if there's a plan B to go all the way back to the beginning, you're just going to go do the plan B and that's okay.
Exactly.
For the people that do, that's fine. Like I have
Exactly. I'm not judging them. No.
a guy named Justin who I looked up to a lot back in high school and then in college. I went to college at Newman because he went there and he was having a lot of success and I liked what he was doing. And so, but he's just like a theater teacher, which he's a happy dude, he's living a good life and that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not like me being this doesn't make me better than anybody else. It doesn't make me anything other than that's just what I'm good at and that's
Right.
the role I play in society.
Exactly.
It happens to be a desirable role, but
Yeah.
it's just the way it is,
It's just
right?
the way it is.
And to get there, you have to go through some shit that it's like you can't even most people couldn't even conceptualize that the shit that the body existed that could take that shit. You know what I mean? Like they could not even imagine what it would be like to have Chadwick come up to them and fuck with them while they're just trying to work out. You know what I mean? Like just shit like that. It's like it's little stuff. And that's what causes a lot of people to turn around. I mean, that's what causes anybody that's not
The real
in
deal.
this thing for blood, bro. That's not in this
Exactly.
thing for everything that they've got, you know? And and I've always and I thought about it for a while when they said that, because it's, that's a big thing to say, and I tried a bunch of different stuff, and it's just
You know what's crazy, bro?
oh right.
You know what's crazy is you hear the stories, the actors who they get the big role and they so they get the big role and then maybe they do a couple of movies and then all of a sudden they're blacklisted and then they don't get another role for 20 years
Mhm.
or 10 years. And
Right.
then they stayed in it and then they got another big role and now they're back.
Right,
This is
like
not
Paul
a
Bettany.
game. This is not a game. You get to like if you're in it, you're in it. And you don't know when that moment's coming. You could be in fucking Hollywood. You could have people giving you praise and you get the moolah. And then guess what? Now you're back to obscurity. Now no one knows what the fuck you're doing. And if you
Right.
don't have the balls, because right now the spotlight's about to come, bro.
Mhm.
Okay? And you've been waiting your whole fucking life for this fucking spotlight. But guess what? Once the spotlight comes on you, spotlights move.
Yeah, they do. They
Okay, and
should.
then it'll move. And everything that you just fucking, all that fucking grit and determination and fuck you, I'm doing this. Fuck you, I'm doing this. When the spotlight hits you, boom, 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 you're ready when the spotlight moves again.
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
you got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because so this is all a part of it. The
Hmm.
waiting period is all a part of it.
Hmm.
You signed up for it. You don't get the fuck. This is a military fucking you know, fucking you're signed up for the military. Okay. When we
Hmm.
say go, you go. You could be
Exactly.
fucking sitting on base for 3 years. You could be
Right.
sitting on base. But when you get called to go to fucking war, you gotta be ready.
Right. Right.
Guess what? You don't get
There's
out
a
of this.
there's a movie. It's called The Killer. It's the one with like Michael Fassbender by David Fincher, where he's like, really, most everything that goes wrong with any plan is the waiting period.
Mm.
It's instead of working, and getting better in that time, you just sat, and you didn't study your lines, you just kind of chilled. If you don't do those things, then when it does come, you're gonna melt in the fucking spotlight.
And guess what? All three of you motherfuckers, you're primed and ready to go.
Yes, we are,
And
bro.
guess what? There are people, this is what I told my sister. I said, and I don't apologize for it. I told her, hey, I said, girl, you got 10 genetics, but you had a two start point in life because your father.
Mm.
Okay. But you are hotter and more beautiful and smarter than any girl you're going to come across. You got it all. But guess what? Some people had 10 start points and two genetics, two
Right.
gifts. You know what I'm saying? Their gift was
Right.
nothing, but they got a good start point. And that's in everything business, da da da, all that shit. But you know what? I'm not trading my 10 out of 10 for your two. Just because you're in the game, but you don't, nepotism and all that shit. Just because
Right.
you're in the game, you'll never be able to do what I'm capable of doing when I get my shot.
Exactly.
When you
Right.
get your shot. When you get your shot, guess what? They could never touch what you could do.
Hmm.
And
That's right.
you know what I'm saying?
Man, that's so true. Man. Yeah, no, I mean it's like, and that's what's so trippy about acting is it's almost like the roles really do come to you, because it's like, we were just talking with my dad and I getting to like, work through these kind of things, like to do these on the screen. I mean, these are real things that have gone between me and my dad. It's like I love my dad, my dad loves me, but I think there was times in my life where my dad was like, dude, what the fuck is he doing? Like, I don't understand the method here, But to be able to get there now with all of the experience he's had, all the experience I've had, all the experience shared together that we've had,
Yep.
then to put that all together in this thing that's been around for 4 fucking 100 years somehow, it creates this thing, and that's what the art is. It creates
Yeah.
this weird fucking moment that everybody's gonna get to experience and get to maybe have some closure with their dad. Maybe shoot, maybe I need to call my dad. Maybe I need to just like spend a little more time with him. Whatever. But it's all of those things, all of the pain that's gone through my life, all of the struggles my dad's gone through in his life are what's gonna make those moments electric.
It is.
I wouldn't trade it for fucking anything, man. I
No,
wouldn't.
mm-mm. No, it's beautiful. It's fucking it's it's a dude that's one thing about art. I don't even like to call it art. It's just something different. It's just it's like it's a mirror. It's always been
Right.
a mirror.
Yeah.
And we look at it, it's like a pond, it's like you're just looking and just different shit always comes out. It could be one thing, it could be, a statue, and then it just over time that statue's meaning changes, but it's the same thing, but it just changes over time.
Exactly.
But all right, brother. Well, this has been incredible. I knew you would. I remember the first time we really sat down because I kind of grown up with more Lucas and Noah, but
Hmm.
uh, I remember the first time I kind of sat down. I think it was like because I'd known you. You were the older brother, but I remember sitting down and you had I think longer hair. This is before the studio. I think we were at your the apartment, and I just remember like this dude is he's a very creative person, and he can talk, and he can shoot the shit, and he's there, like he's in the moment with you talking, and he's not a regurgitator. And I was like, anyway, so I don't know why I da da da, but
Yeah.
we're here, we're doing it, and I love how fucking gung ho you weren't like, no, I gotta do this, right? You went, hey, what day? Boom, 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 let's do it, let's go. So I
Man.
appreciate it, man. And this is gonna live on. This is gonna live on. This is a touchstone, and I just think it's serendipitous. I don't even know. I was texting you and I was texting Lucas, and you just go with the muse, and all of a sudden we're doing this. It's just go
It's
with
like,
it. But it's gonna be important for you, and I hope you can, with people you know, that when you're promoting this adaptation and what you did, like this will be something that you can look on and be like, yeah, this is, and people can kind of understand it from this lens of us talking about it. And
that's
it's
right.
cool, man. It's cool. I appreciate it. We'll do this. We'll do more of this. And when I see you in Tennessee, when we're reading through scripts, we'll.
You're definitely gonna fucking do that. I'm so fucking
And I
down.
want to honestly, bro. You guys are the OGs with act. You're gonna be impressed. You're gonna be impressed with
Dude,
the.
just what you told me, it was fucking trippy. I mean, it was just like I just like the way that you were painting that picture already. It shows that
I think
at
my
least the idea of the story is fantastic.
I think my gift is two things. I make things look sexy, so
Yeah, you do, bro.
I
Yeah,
make shit
you
like
do.
I make shit look good. I make shit look
Sure do.
sexy. Like for instance, when we took that photo for your for the single, that was really good, right?
Oh,
So
great
I make
photo.
shit look sexy, and when it comes to film, I believe I'm a really good writer. I think I could be like an okay actor, like passable for what I can do,
Mm,
but I really trust my writing, my creativity with writing, storytelling, and like with directing. Like you'll see with the short film, like you'll be like, yeah, he's got a he this is like some good cinematography. So
mm.
I think those are my two skills. I think I write and tell good stories, and I have an eye for like great cinematography and that kind of stuff. So we will collaborate in the future, and I hope we can do a short film, and maybe I can act in whatever you're doing. But I feel like with my talents and your guys' ability to act, like I would love to like shoot around like a 20-minute like short film idea. Like and
No, we're
just
all
like
down, bro.
collaborate. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Man,
got
we're
a
all
great
about for that
I got
shit.
a great camera. I got a cinema camera, and I feel like we could just do something super cool, bro.
Fuck yeah, bro.
You know
I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
dude, let's keep doing this, and let's fucking, man. I'm always down. Like if the story is even half good, bro,
Mhm.
I'm always willing to lend my abilities to my friends and my pirate crew.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir, bro.
But anyway, peace, salut, God bless. I'm gonna end this recording and we'll do more in the future. But Trevor, it's always amazing, bro. God bless
Ooh.
you. God bless your family. I'm so glad to have grown up with you and your family and to know you. And
Man, you know what's
you
funny?
guys you got incredible things coming your way. You are the real deal. You and your family are the real deal. And everyone, every actor seriously around the world who wants to be inspired by like why do we do what we do? What type of people are you going to meet? Everybody, every actor at any level can appreciate you and your family and the three of you and like your love and passion for the craft and that you actually do it. Like you guys actually do the thing. You really actually act. You're
We do.
diehards, and that's the shit, bro. And the spotlight's coming because you guys got all the talent in the world.
Mhm.
So it is what it is. It's
We
just
bringing
real.
it, baby.
That's it.
Yes.
But anyways, this was Vino Speak. Have a good one.